but there are other factors than just who's cooking, who's cleaning, and who's paying bills. End of the day, so as much as you're just rubbishing the person, there are other factors in in a relationship other than just those, like who does the menial housework and who pays the bills.
Nah, you got some things you need to take a strong
hold. Does the person
about,
love you? Do they talk to you? Are they listening?
Love rubbish.
Do they
That's it.
What love got to do?
What is this love rubbish?
Listen.
But it's an important part of a relationship.
Love
though.
can't cook food, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro.
How do you feel with this person when you lie down with them at night?
I feel like you ain't paying half your damn bills. That's what I feel like.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects. Welcome to another episode of the Eloquently Saying Nothing podcast. Hashtag ESN pod on all your social medias, at ESN podcast everywhere, and search for us, Eloquently Saying Nothing, on Facebook. I am your host, Stavros Boss, and in the room with me tonight, I have Big Wahala.
I want to discuss.
After.
All right, Big Wahala's the building.
I have Simple Simon.
Yo, welcome on Simple Simon there.
And I have the actor.
You know, Sicilians, the best liars in the world. I'm Sicilian.
True.
My father, the heavyweight champion of Sicilian liars. Now, growing up with him, he told me the pantomimes. Now, what that is a guy has 17 different pantomimes, which he gives away when he's lying. Guys have 17, women have 20, but guys got 17. So basically, it's a game of show and tell. You're showing me something without telling me nothing. Now, I know you know where they are. Now, if you want to tell me, you can tell me. But if you don't, I'm going to put you in a world of hurt that you won't walk away from. What's going on, people? It's your boy, the actor, up in the building.
What film is that?
True Romance.
I didn't say True Romance. I've never seen that film.
You did, but what's a pamper? Say it.
Pantomime.
I'm assuming it means sign.
It's the signs you give away when you're lying.
Okay, never heard of it.
Yeah, it's a French saying.
New word for me. New word for
That
me.
is that actor's thing. Mr. Wolf is wolfing himself somewhere. Who knows? He's probably crying.
He's
because
crying.
Of Liverpool.
Gareth Bale!
Look at these wounds.
Don't shout into the microphone,
I
please.
did it on purpose.
And yeah, we you know what? Can I just start off with for the first time ever in ESN history, in our 7.5, well, it's more than 7.5 year history, I just want to start with a prayer. Dear God, thank you for what you've given us. You've provided us with nourishment and friends and women and whatnot and all that good stuff. We've got some sunshine now and the rain for the trees. And last of all, thank you for Liverpool losing. Amen.
You don't understand how.
You know, MG's gonna send a lightning bolt for you.
Yeah, that's what happened yesterday.
Yes, yeah.
Man, you don't understand how happy I was that Liverpool lost yesterday, man. It shouldn't be so happy to see somebody else in so much pain, but I was not happy that Liverpool lost yesterday.
It was a beautiful thing.
Oh man. But, all right, so big up Eloquently because we went to do something with Eloquently earlier, and she mentioned something that I never.
Big up good vibes.
Yeah, big up good vibes. This is something I never.
Are you the one to talk about the cheating?
No.
We'll talk about the cheating. Okay.
She brought up something that I don't know if you might have picked it up. Simple. I don't know.
I don't understand why none
of
you brought it up before.
Maybe,
I've understood it.
Maybe I just didn't think about it. Right, we was talking about who was the least person she would mind leaving. No, who would be the most person? Basically, who's the best person on the podcast? But the way that Sarah described it was
the
different.
question I asked was because she was like, "You're all equal." She was talking about how we can make the podcast bigger and blah blah blah. I'm like, whatever. She was talking about potentially going on TV. I said, I don't think I'd be good on TV. She's like, of course you'd be good on TV. I said, yeah, whatever. And then I said, which person from the podcast, if they weren't there, would you be like, you'd be the most upset about? Which one, if we're not there, would you be like, oh, damn it, they're not on this episode? Now, she didn't, obviously, as most people did, she didn't give a straight answer. But something she did say was...
Well, I said that Stav is the best on the podcast. Because I always say Stav's the best on the podcast. I say, well, Stav's the best, yeah? But she was like, you're all equal, blah, blah, blah. But she goes, you cannot have the podcast without having Stab, because Stab has kind of linked it.
Before we continue, she did say Mr. Wolf was the one that she aligns with the most, and she likes his talk most. So I guess she kind of picked Mr. Wolf. She said Mr. Wolf,
which is good. So big up Mr. Wolf, who's crying somewhere. So so she in the end she said you can't really have the podcast without having Stav, because Stav has made the podcast so much centered around him. And I was just listening, thinking, you know us already. We just assume that Stav fixes everything anyway, so it's not a big deal, right? In normal every day. But then she said, even the way he says things on the mic, he says, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, rodents and other small insects, welcome to Eloquently Saying Nothing.
I am your host.
I am your host.
Yeah.
Stavros Boss, and with me is the rest of you.
Yeah.
Not I'm Stavros Boss, and whoever it is, he's the person.
Yeah.
I am the host here. I am the one that runs things here.
I am the captain.
And I am the captain now. And the ones who are with me, my crew members,
I don't look at it that way.
Yeah.
The rest of us. I've never ever acknowledged it.
You didn't acknowledge that before.
That's what I was thinking.
I acknowledged it before. I was thinking, this person.
Hold on, but simple. When you're saying
shade every week, shade.
That is not shade.
Yeah, but those are key words. I and me.
Yes, it's mine.
Is that how you two see it, Simple and Actor?
I've been telling you that from season 1. It's your podcast. We think on your podcast.
No, but
we feature on your podcast as far as I'm concerned.
I can understand behind the scenes stuff, because I do strong arm things. I used to, innit? I don't think I do so anymore. I would like to believe I don't anymore, anyways. But
you don't. But the way you don't. But the way that you don't do it is by still strong arm. Still have to make a decision that all of us make.
Well, I don't see nothing. No, we just made a decision that
I don't see nothing wrong.
Yeah, every time I say it, it goes through your head anyway. So before I continue, that Actor.
Yes. Even though I am the co-founder, you run it. You have that. You lord over it.
I do semantics.
Oh, wow.
So I heard that time ago.
But it was just weird when she said that. I was like, yeah, motherfucker, yeah.
But I said that whenever I talk about you guys, you always, and this is on the podcast, I said co-host.
Yeah, he does. So he does say co-host when it's something to ask about.
But your introduction,
even certain other introductions, because I guess I've got now into a pattern. I don't even think about what I'm saying in the beginning. I just say it. I used to say my co-hosts are, but in my head for some reason I always just say in the room with me tonight. And that's just, and it's not even tonight. It's daytime we're recording. For once we're recording during the day.
Right.
And
it's only because it's summer and the sun's out.
It's still daytime. We ain't reached 7 o'clock yet. No, 7 o'clock for me is nighttime. So it's
proper African.
If you check it, even the logo, his face is front and center.
No, I asked him to do that though, because there was one point when my face was front and center. I didn't want that.
If you go to YouTube videos, my others is still there. I didn't bother changing it. I couldn't be bothered.
Yeah, I told him I don't want my face to be front.
Why not?
Because I don't need my face to be the front, because he's the host. Because I see it, like, I actually that's what I'm saying, I don't have a problem with it, because that is actually how I see it. Stav is the host and we are the ones that's with him.
No, I see
he's the captain and we're the ones underneath him.
Are you Bobby Brown?
No.
He's Ralph Chessman. We said this already. He's the Ralph Chessman of the group.
Listen.
Oh, you're back in singers.
He writes the lyrics, but nobody writes to hear him, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I prefer, because I don't know that group as well as I know Take That.
So you trying to say you're Gary Barlow?
I'll be Gary Barlow.
Gary Barlow did try a thing.
He wrote, and he's not Robbie Williams.
Okay, so you're Gary Barlow. I'm Robbie Williams. I'm taking it. I don't care. He's Jason Orange.
But hold on.
Which was the one that they were like? There was only one that they liked.
Hold on, that's the point. I don't know the other three.
No, Jason Orange.
I don't know the other three.
One of them wrote and produced.
Jason Orange.
One of them was just like the star, innit?
Jason Orange was the one that everybody was, because there was one that everybody was in love with. There's always
that was Jason Orange. Everybody loved Jason Orange.
That's what I'm talking about. Simple Simon's Jason Orange. And I can't remember the other two. I'm not gonna lie, Webbs. But you're one of them, and so is Mr. Wolf. So
the gay one and the one no one cared about.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it's better if he's
one of them gay.
Maybe you should have done Westlife. Westlife might have been a better pick, because
I still don't know them or even.
Yeah, I don't know Westlife enough.
Estelle, what's the ones with the 3 black women?
Eternal.
Maybe Eternal would have been better.
I don't know. Wait, who's Louise Nerding?
I don't know, man.
Louise Redknapp now.
Mr. Wolf or Louise Nerding? Mr. Wolf, because he's not here, so he gets that title. He's a white woman.
Wait, what about from, if it was is it All Saints?
Yeah, what about?
Yeah.
Well, Stabber's got the nose for it, so he has to be what's her face?
Wow.
So you three are the whites.
Lewis.
Just as long as you three are the whites, that's cool. In fact, touching on whites, should we? In fact, let's talk about this cheating thing. All right. Before we got talking, I was discussing a situation I was in where I was listening to a couple of mans talking about cheating and how hard it was for them not to cheat and how they had to like plan and organize like a set method on how to not cheat. And I thought it's mad. And Simple Simon said that it's not a human function to be with one person. Is it?
Your
Really?
phone.
Because
Your phone was like,
well, hala, you said that it's not easy to be faithful. And then Simple Simon said it's not normal for you to stick with one person. And I was thinking it's easy to be faithful. And you said, no, really, you have to work at it. And I said, all right, fair enough, I get that. And then we started talking about that. But this is before we recorded. So we said, let's save ourselves for the podcast.
I think when I say it's not easy to be faithful, it'll be easy to be faithful if you're an ugly man that can't get no girls. But when girls are available to you, I think people will find it a lot more difficult to be faithful.
So the line, you're only as faithful as your options is, you believe rings true.
Not rings true, because you can still, there's people that's got a lot of options that's still faithful.
Yep.
But I think that it's harder for those ones that have the options than it is for the ones that have no options at all.
but isn't it by definition that humans aren't meant to be monogamous? Aren't meant to be with one person?
Well, that's the point.
I don't know. I'm assuming so. I'm assuming that you're not meant to be with one person. But I'm saying this, yeah. As I said, humans are stupid. Animals just go and do what they're doing, but there's still animals in the animal kingdom that have their
Certain
own
animals,
that breed with one particular type of person because they think that's the best person to breed with. But I don't know. Human beings like to make things more difficult for themselves. Hence the reason why we go to work. Hence the reason why we have relationships with one person and make it to the point where if they speak to somebody else, you want to kill them and all this type of stuff.
But do you think that's due to our programming?
Yeah, of course. It's conditioning, isn't it?
So how do we break that cycle?
Even your conditioning
I'm
has been
not
conditioned.
saying that it has to be broken.
But are you happy to be in a conditioned state?
I think that you kind of need the conditioning to allow the world to kind of run how it is. Imagine if everyone was just going around banging and releasing children all over the place.
But
Would it function?
That wasn't my question. Are you happy to be in a conditioned state?
Oh, I'm happy to be, was it monogamous? Or what's that one?
In a conditioned state.
Yeah, okay, I'm happy to, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
So in this situation, I don't actually have a problem with it.
Simple.
Okay.
Simple what?
You were the one that came with the thing that actually, I think, exploded the conversation from Simple. It's easy to be faithful. You're the one that fleshed it out and said, bruv,
It's not.
think about things.
You make a conceited effort to be faithful. Like, it's not.
Bruv, talk with your chest, man. Come on.
It's not.
It's no Meek Mill right
your
now.
locks, man. Your locks.
But it's the truth, though. You do
Pusha
make a
T
conceited. You do make a conceited effort to be faithful. Like, I would say that most men, who are faithful, make that effort to do that. It's not something that comes naturally to them.
I don't think
women?
it's just men. I
What about
think
women?
women as well. Women are better. They're better at it.
I'm
than
only
now.
speaking for man because I'm one of them. So I don't know how the women's situation goes.
So that actor then, you can speak on the women's behalf. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
But you're the clitoris of the group, so really you should.
That's for different reasons. I'm just
You're
sensitive.
still sensitive as well.
Okay then, so well, like you were going to like, humans make it hard for themselves. Why can't they just be like animals kind of thing? They go to work, they do this and that. They stick with one person. But you didn't seem happy when Ronaldinho was going to marry 2 women.
I don't have a problem with women.
Didn't you say that you don't know how you feel about this?
No.
Somebody said that.
I don't know where that came from.
No, I was happy.
If he was to marry 2 women and the 2 women are happy to marry him, let him go marry the
No,
2
I was
women.
happy
See,
for him.
people you notice how this tag has just been attached to me. Anytime that thing's going in a group chat that is on women's side, Wahala's going to be on their side. Wahala's going to be on their side. I'm like, why? Why won't everybody have to be on the women's
You
side?
are the feminist of the group.
No, I am the equality person in the group.
It's equality control.
Well, that is feminism, equality. Anyway, so
It's new age feminism.
Ronaldinho is to marry 2 women at the same time after living harmoniously with the pair since December.
Yeah.
So, what do we feel about polygamy in general? Marrying 2 or more people, or having 2 or more wives or husbands, for that matter.
It's kind of equality in a strange way with this situation because apparently he buys them the same presents. He takes them to the same places. He does everything the same.
He's younger than me.
So yeah, of course he's.
Does he do it at the same time?
I don't know what he's doing with them. I don't know if he sleeps with both women at the same time. That's one of the things that a lot of people get misconstrued about
in polygamy.
polygamy, that they sleep with the same women at the same time. They don't. Sometimes they sleep with one woman, then sometimes they sleep with the other. So sometimes they're even doing shifts in it. So if this man wants to be banging all the time in it,
Shift
you
work
have him on
relationships.
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I have him on Monday, whatever.
And
And then sometimes you bang him in the morning, I bang him in the evening.
And
Oh no. Okay, let me
then
read.
there's menstrual cycles as well.
Yes.
Yeah, but sometimes if women stick together long enough, their menstrual
Then
cycles sync.
link up.
They align.
Oh, he's living it, bro.
So let me read a bit more the story. He's living with the 2 women in his £5 million mansion in
Brazil.
in Brazil, Rio. He started dating one in 2016. Apparently, he was with one for several years earlier. According to reports, so it's allegedly, in other words, both lovers receive an allowance of around
1,500, isn't it?
1,500 a month to spend
That's not even that much.
as they wish. In Brazil, it's enough.
And then they both work, and one of them has been disowned by her family.
This man has
He
probably
also-
went in to find out what was going on with
He
the
also
situation.
reportedly always gives the two exact same presents, including recently buying them the same perfume during a trip abroad together.
I wonder if he put them in the same engagement.
He will marry the two women at a private ceremony in Santa Monica.
I was happy for him, man. He's living his best life, bro.
But this is the thing. If we're saying that that's cool,
If you're
Would you-
above board with it like that, and everybody knows what I'm going for, what I'm going, then I don't see what's wrong
if
with
we're
it.
saying that's cool, is there any women that's got two husbands?
I think I've read a couple of stories about.
Would we be saying the same, saluting this woman
I
for the same
think
thing?
there's like a culture in, I think it's India of all places, somewhere like there where the women have more than one man.
And do we agree with this?
India of all
Would
places.
we be okay with this?
Because of how what's the word? What's the
Draconian they are. innit?
yeah, this whole they're back when it comes to women's rights in them places.
You say
Yes,
that,
of
but
course.
Pakistan had a woman prime minister.
Yes, they
Way
did.
before any some of these what they call well developed countries did.
All right.
Yeah, they were still doing
Well,
shit. There.
and they're still raping and killing and honor killing their women at home.
They were still
So,
doing
no.
shit there. I'm not gonna say that they're not. I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, as I'm the feminist, as you say, would we be saying, yeah, big that woman up if she had two mans?
Why not? If men can do it, why can't women? do
Would
it?
you be bigging her up the same way that some mans are bigging up Robert?
I'd give her props, yeah.
I don't think man would be bigging her up. I think
Why
she'll be
not?
getting told that she's a this and a that.
I wouldn't
that's
necessarily
we always-
label her, but I'm like, for me, as much as this two woman thing sounds like it's superficial, and I'm just being a lad's lad. In reality, I'm also thinking about like family structure and stuff like that in a funny kind of way. Like, from what I know, the mathematics, and I know bare people are gonna roll their eyes now. The mathematics are that the man can impregnate both of those women more times than they could possibly supply eggs for him to impregnate them, and on the other way around, she can't. Like, a woman has on average about 450 eggs for her entire lifetime,
Yeah.
and a man makes 4 million sperm every 6 hours.
What's your point?
So my point is, logistically, by numbers, a man having two wives sustains the idea of
Reproducing.
reproducing.
Yeah, but if a woman has two men and one man can only service her at one point in time, let's say that she sleeps with one man
He said
and he busts and he's finished and it don't work, and she's got a next man that busts and he finishes, but that one does work. She's got a lot of averages that the eggs can be fertilized.
Yeah, but she'll be pregnant once
Yeah,
in
what's
that
wrong with
time
pregnancy?
period. And what I'm saying is,
Well, the girl's only going to be pregnant twice. Well, one girl could be pregnant once and the other one can be pregnant
yeah,
once.
but that's two children.
Yeah, but
So every
what?
single time-
So we should be overpopulating the planet.
I'm not saying about. Listen, I just said to you, logistically, from how it works out, numbers
logistically, pimping makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you want to do it in that way, if you want to make it that structured, do you agree that the world is overpopulated?
No,
You think the world isn't
the
overpopulated?
world isn't overpopulated.
You think that certain areas are overpopulated?
I think yes. I think when the people say that we're overpopulated, they're talking about the system that we've created to sustain life on the planet can't scale to the level that the people are growing at. It doesn't mean that we're overpopulated.
So let's go with the scale of what we've got at the moment. Let's say that it's not going to change because it's unlikely it is. Yeah. Do you think that the world is technically overpopulated?
No, it's not.
Even with the scale that you're saying that with the scale that they've got in their brain,
because
you still think we got room for expansion
We've got a lot of room for expansion. The problem is when
with the minerals allowing that to expand.
Yeah. Because what people forget when they say, oh, we're overpopulated, is if you look at our current system, we have some people who have absolutely no food, and some other people who have so much food that they throw away almost as much.
Yeah,
as
but
they
I'm talking
consume.
about the structure. The structure is here. You're changing the structure again. I'm saying with the structure that we've
No,
got now,
we're not changing the
with
structure.
the poverty and the whatever.
We don't have to change the structure. If we just change our mentality. So
okay, the mentality doesn't change.
No, we can.
It is how it is. Right.
So if you're talking about that, then that's what overpopulation means in that sense.
So
yes,
right
then
now,
yes.
so you think they will be overpopulated because it's unlikely. As I said, it's unlikely going to change.
No, it will change, but yeah.
But it's not going to change in the near future. Yeah.
No.
It depends on whose lifetime you're talking about. You're talking about your lifetime.
I'm talking about
not
in
change.
the immediate future. I don't think it's going to change. Yeah.
Okay.
So let's say that going by your rationale,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be better for two men to sleep with the same woman and only have one child for the population purposes.
For the overall population purpose.
Because it then allows them, the people, to have their sex, release themselves, right?
Yeah.
Not asking why I did that noise.
Yeah.
Right, release itself, but only one child is produced from that.
Okay.
Yeah, but
With this scope of two fathers that could potentially help raise that child.
Okay. And then what happens when she's pregnant and the sex can't happen?
Why can't the sex happen? Are you now saying that
Well, you
pregnant
can't
women can't
have
have
sex
sex?
when you're pregnant.
The two men just get together, innit?
Oh God.
Are you telling me that? So you're telling me that pregnant women can't have sex? Are you throwing it out there? Do you
Not
want
not immediately after they've had a child.
not after. We're talking about the pregnant. You're not pregnant after.
But
During the
towards the end
pregnancy.
as well.
There's a period where you can't have no.
There
Okay,
are
well,
other
that,
holes,
that
you know.
period, then you have to hold it down, innit? I heard you, web slinger. I
I'm
heard you.
Just saying.
I heard you.
I didn't hear you.
He said there are other holes.
Oh God.
Hold it down.
It's too much, bro.
Well, it's like that video. The woman was saying, "You got 3 holes."
Yeah.
No husband should be
Two palms.
Three holes and feet.
And, feet.
Fucking hell.
She went in. All right.
What simple? Sorry, let me quickly jump in. What simple was saying by definition? Even if the man impregnates the woman, she could have twins or triplets.
But imagine imagine pregnant 2 women with twins and triplets.
That's a lot of nappies.
I was just saying, innit? I don't even know where this came from. It came from the cheating thing, innit?
The monogamy thing.
But then does that mean we'd also have to change our system then? Because at the moment we have a patriarchal system that says that children, in most cases, not all, children inherit the father's wealth effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So then in this situation then, these children are gonna, I don't know, it just seems like it's a bit slower.
Which children in the Ronaldinho's one?
One woman, 2 man situation.
What's the difference? One man after you have the baby.
This is now confusing.
You
me,
say
man.
which test is which. You know which one is who, and then you take that's wealth.
I don't know.
All right.
How would you feel though
I'm
if
in
you
mass
was,
production, bruv. I'm shelling, bruv.
if you were the 2 man in that relationship and you couldn't obviously make your woman pregnant, but the other man could? Would you be happy to raise the child as well?
Well, he's there, isn't it? Why am I raising the child? Well, I would help.
You'd help.
Yeah, I would help in the household.
It takes a village.
But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is.
Would you be side eyeing the child or the man?
I would push the child down the stairs. No. It is what it is.
I could have been your daddy.
I could have if my sperm was the lazy one and it didn't beat the other one, it didn't beat the other one.
That could have been your daddy.
This conversation is just going in directions.
Wow, didn't it?
Yeah. So I'm gonna try.
Bring it
I'm
back.
gonna bring it back, and I'm gonna give you my own little personal story about where I went to this weekend. I went to AfroRepublik with my missus. She bought tickets and dragged me along. I didn't know what it was. I don't know none of these artists. This Young Bane, Techno.
Techno.
Who else was there?
Wizkid. T.L. Savage.
T.L. Savage. Well,
Notes.
Notes. He's the one that we know.
Mr. Boy Easy.
Mr. Easy. No, he's
Blackberry.
Yeah. Oh, anyways, so these artists were there. They were at the O2. They were performing. It was rammed. So every seat was taken. I mean, is that 80,000 or something?
Well, I don't know. Afs were there though.
Huh?
I said I don't know, but Afs were there.
Yep, Afs were there in full. So now, 2 things I want to mention just quickly, and we don't need to discuss the first one. The first one is that these people can't perform these days. Mr. Easy came with a band. T.L. Savage came with her dancers and she performed. And what's the big man? Wizkid came with a band, dancers, and performed. All right, T.Y. Savage. Mr. Easy also came with dancers. Now these people performed, yeah. And T.Y. Savage actually, I didn't give her props when I was talking to you earlier on. She sang, she performed, she danced, she performed. Same thing with Wizkid. T.Y. Savage has no stage presence, but he put on a performance.
Mr. Easy, man.
Mr. Easy.
That's
What did I call him?
T.Y. Savage.
I called him Mr. Savage. Mr. Savage.
No, you call it T.Y.
Savage.
Savage.
You call him a woman.
Sorry.
Mr. Easy.
Mr. Easy
You're mixing names.
has no stage presence, but he at least put on a performance. The rest of them, none of them had the correct backing track. Now, as I explained to Wahala before we started, when you make a track for a live stage, if you don't have a band, you turn down the vocals, you just leave the chorus on there a bit, you leave any ad libs, and you sing. None of these people have actual tracks that you're meant to be showing at a concert. They're just rapping over their things, and they're not even rapping. Most of them were ad-libbing. So Young Bane was just miming.
So
basically.
basically, what you're saying, they were too lazy to show up for soundcheck.
I don't know about too lazy. I wasn't impressed with some of the
Was there
performances.
bottom at this place?
There was so much bottom. I'm surprised my wife did not slap me on the way there. In fact, to be honest, because it wasn't South African and Ghanaian women, a lot of them. It was a lot of Nigerians, and they don't win big bottom Twitter. But anyways, there was so much breast on show. It was disgraceful. We saw one of the mans them there, and he was like, I cannot believe it's like it wasn't like this in my day. Just so much breast and so much nipples. And a lot of these breasts is not even in a healthy shape. This is not me saying this. This was what I was heard from other people. Like the breast is sagging because apparently the reasons that women's breast is sagging these days is because they don't wear bras, because a lot of the clothes they wear are meant to be worn without bras.
Yeah, my missus told me that.
So that's what I heard from my sister-in-law. So
let the breast hang, man. Let them sag.
Let them hang.
Let them sag, man.
But these are 25-year-old.
Saggy tits matter. Saggy tits matter.
At 25. Imagine
matter.
once they got children and they're 45.
You're assuming that everyone must have pert breasts. They don't. Some people just have saggy breasts.
Right, don't let it come across like I'm attacking the breast. I'm still looking.
Let the saggy breast women.
He said, "I'll still lick him."
No, I said I was still looking.
Oh, okay.
Calm down. Wait, man, turn it around. You know what?
Said you still lick him.
He would have gone away and said that. That's what I said as well. You know.
Of course.
And then you know what he would do? He would argue, and I said I didn't say that. He's like, yes, you did.
I would have
Yes,
argued
you
that.
did.
I would have argued that.
Isn't there a correct breast exercise to do to keep your breast perked?
I don't
Listen,
fucking know.
You people need to
Push-ups.
allow saggy breast women to live, bro.
Nobody's saying that they can't live.
Yeah.
Why are you coming to now be a defender of the earth? That somebody told that they can't live.
Man said defender of the earth, you know.
Where's your ring?
Captain Planet.
All right. So the second thing
Master
was
of magic spells and illusion.
it was, I reckon, 90% women, maybe 85-90% women, 95% black. There was a mix of Asians and whites there. It was funny seeing the whites. The Asians were in couples. A lot of them were in couples. Yeah, so you saw the Asian man and the Asian woman. All right. Now, the whites that were there, you had your odd white man.
Did you say Parvinda?
I said Arvinda, but yeah, big up Arvinda too.
Yeah. You had your odd white man scattered around.
Oi.
All right.
Oi.
Parvinda.
You had couples, like two girls that came as Cody's,
Bloody
a
fuck.
couple of them, and a couple of white girls that came with their veterans. Now, out of that crowd, I would say 90+% looked like they were single. And if they weren't single, they weren't with their partners.
Okay.
All right. So you were there with your girls or you were there with your boys. That's what a lot of it was.
Okay.
Now, the couples that I could see, so like the ones that were hugging up to their missus like I was hugging up to mine, I saw a couple of people hugging up or dancing together the whole night. The ones I saw, now this is just the ones I saw. Not some, not half, most of them were white women with black men.
Okay.
And I was just like, is it that they were too scared to come by themselves? That's why they come. Most of the couples were mixed relationship couples, mixed racial couples. And I thought that was interesting in AfroRepublik. Because on the stage, they were just bigging up, I can't believe this. Africa, we've done it. We've put up the O2. It's just Africans. And I was like, but these are all these mixed relationships. The people that are actually together are not with other Africans.
Was Tracy putting her hand up saying, "Excuse me, Mr. Wizkid, I'm from Plumstead.
Them Stephanie.
I love England.
I'm not actually African."
So what's your question?
Do you have a thought on that, or am I just picking on something? Am I being a racialist?
Interracial relationships.
No, I got no problem with that. I thought it was interesting that because you hear a lot of women saying black men don't want us. And when I saw the black men, so like I said, most of the people there weren't in relationships. It was 90% plus, or 85 to 90% women. So they weren't, in essence, there weren't hardly any men there anyways. And then most of the men that I saw there that seemed to be in a relationship were with white women.
Well, that would indicate that black men don't want to take their women to concerts. That wouldn't mean anything else about the fact that they don't have, because as you said, those 90% women or whatever would have had their man at home.
Maybe.
There were a number of side chicks there, so certain mans didn't want to go just in case they get caught out.
It's your boy.
Because when women say black men don't want us, they want the exotic looking.
Tracy's not exotic looking. Please.
Or they want the white woman.
Rebecca is not.
You didn't let me finish.
Plumstead is an exotic place.
They want the exotic woman that doesn't. What's it? Racially ambiguous woman, or they want a white woman. I always say, nah. Me and Mr. Wolf is always no, man. We want a black woman. But if you went by what I saw at AfroRepublik, I couldn't argue the numbers. Most of the men that seem to be in a relationship were not with black women.
But that means they just took them out.
I don't get what you're saying.
Were they dark?
I was
were they dark skinned men? Let's get colorism with it. Were
they
they
were dark skin. A lot of them had them twists, them
footballer twists.
Yeah.
So
them kind of
Ivory Coast Senegalese man then.
Where I don't know. They a lot of them had a pattern.
See
Put
what-
it this way: a lot of the mans were the kind of man
Shots fired.
that I wouldn't think black women would be attracted to in the first place.
Ooh.
That's just what that's from looking. I don't know
Why?
because they didn't dress with the kind of swag that I think a black woman is usually attracted to.
That's now, you're talking about.
black woman.
That was
I thought it was
then.
a white woman.
You don't know about now, bruv. You don't know about what black girls like now. They like these guys that wear these torn distressed jeans. The way they call it.
Distressed jeans.
I don't know what happened when jeans started to have some form of emotion, but anyway. But so they like these guys that do these types of stuff. So you be surprised.
Therapy.
Okay, let's just move.
I think we're too old for this.
I think I've picked up on something that clearly I was just reading into something that was
No,
not
yeah,
there.
I think it's a good observation to talk about, but I just think it not necessarily mean that the relationships is not happening. It just means that they're not taking them out.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for this. It's just I just so happened to see a lot of men holding hands with white women some black
men don't hold hands.
And then I started actually paying attention. I don't usually hold my woman's hand.
Exactly.
Yeah, but because we're in that kind of venue, I hold her hand so we don't lose because it's crammed in it. And when we're moving, I'm holding your hand so we don't. Exactly.
Oh, I don't want to.
It's like carnival, isn't it? It's like carnival. Even men them like have their own masculine way where you hold each other's shoulders when you're walking by. You don't want to lose track of people. It's a cramped place.
I don't want to lose your girl.
I want to know since when did black women not be considered exotic?
Black women are exotic, man. Shit.
Well, to white, they don't like being considered exotic because usually it's a white man saying it. Do black men call other black women exotic?
It's normal to us, isn't it?
Yeah.
It depends on where they should come from. They might call them exotic. So a black woman, if you come from London and you're talking about a black woman from maybe somewhere like
Cape Verde,
Dominican Republic or something like that, they may call you exotic. But then they'll be fetishizing you same way in it. So
Cape Verde.
Did you just move across a little bit?
What's wrong with you blacks, man?
No, Cape Verde, man.
Man just released
It's
a little.
your boy.
All right, before we talk about Morgan Freeman,
Oh God.
I just want to play something that I thought was quite interesting, and we're going to talk about Babes Wodumo. Wodumo.
Oh, the one that does the skank, innit?
Yeah, there's something about her. But let me play this.
It wasn't long before Tony and I realized.
He crawled through a quarter mile of shit.
Can you imagine him doing this to these women though? Chatting this chat. I am Morgan Freeman.
I'm about to insert my penis inside you.
No, I didn't get consent.
Go any further,
I don't think
I would like to call on all men in our country to join in a self-negation war against toxic masculinity and patriarchy. By masculinity, I mean how we perform our manner of being men to women. The women who gave birth to us, who grew us up, women we claim to love, women who work with and for us,
doesn't sound
and
like
all the
Morgan
young
Freeman.
women out there, young girls out there. We men must fight against the violent way of being men to these women. We must call each other out and never protect abusers in our midst. Women's bodies are not made for us. We have no entitlement to them, even if we pay lobola or mavuso. A woman's
African, I knew
no
it.
means no. Each man must confront the culture of rape, and it starts with confronting yourself, facing the darkness in us that is perpetuated by the widespread and sometimes celebrated impression that women's bodies are mere tools of sexual satisfaction and making babies. This is the foundational attitude for a widespread culture of violence against women. It must stop. And each man tonight must say, it stops with me. To all the ladies out there, remember at all times, love without justice is evil.
I think man put that very eloquently.
I also agree with you, but
He did succinctly deliver that line.
Can
there.
That was 1 minute 20 seconds of.
Can I ask you a question?
Bars.
Can I ask you a question? From your knowledge, which might not be vast, just like mine, who do you think in Africa is the most progressive men? Who do you think has got the most regarding this type of situation?
Well, I have no idea.
When you say progressive regarding the situation, what, as in who's the most aggressive males to women in Africa?
Progressive, I said, not aggressive.
No, that's what I'm saying.
What's wrong with this guy?
But the progression of aggression.
No, the progressive as in we're looking to make equality for women, making sure that they're okay. We're not using them as like what you were saying there. You're not for us. You're not our tool to do what we please with and whatever. We don't own you. What that type of stuff. Who do you think?
No idea. I don't think anyone's got an idea.
I don't know.
We'd all be talking from a complete place of ignorance.
Ethiopia.
Ignorance is good. You think Ethiopia? Why?
Ignorance is good. That's like saying evil is good.
in this situation, it is, man. Let's just say,
What happened? Did you get a wedgie?
you know when your balls is stuck to something and you ate that pain was so bad.
Good. You see, I wish you could see me smiling here. Anyways, sorry, simple.
That was God doing that, boy.
What?
Was it not you talking?
No,
You
he
said
was.
Ethiopia.
No, you said Ethiopia.
I said Ethiopia.
And I
Yeah,
said, what about Ethiopia?
yeah. I think maybe Ethiopia.
But why?
I don't know. I get the impression that their society is a little bit more mature than the rest of African society. That might not necessarily be a striking good thing to say that they're out of the dark ages, but I think they're a little bit more progress than the rest of Africa's. Or from what I know of the rest of Africa, anyway.
Well,
African men.
Oh, okay.
I know we've been sorry.
They dance with their shoulders over there, so they don't really. Do you know what I mean? That's different, isn't it? Like from you start dancing with your shoulders, it's different. You're obviously not gonna. You don't think the same way as everybody else because we all do waist. We all do that waistline dancing, which involves gyrating your hips and all that kind of stuff. So that area.
It's a mating call, isn't it?
So there's no sexual movement at the shoulder level.
At the shoulder level, the dance.
You can't,
Look at them shoulders.
you can't seduce with your shoulders.
Yeah, they might. Better at cunnilingus and that. They got the training and that. Yeah.
I don't think a woman say, "Oh, look at his trapezius. It's lovely."
Oh, look at his collarbone. Oh.
Well,
What was the reason why you brought up the video anyway?
well, okay. Before we get into this Morgan Freeman thing, then this thing is linked to it. So, Babes Wodumo is a Guam artist. Sorry,
She's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she just danced. I didn't know she actually made tunes.
No, those are her songs. But with her ex-boyfriend, Finso, I think his name was.
We're slaughtering these South African names. man.
Yeah. So, Naughty, sorry, man. I know she was like actively vexing me for the way I said certain words before, but I can't do your language, man. And even if, to be honest, I probably could if you did it right before I said it. Anyone without that. Anyone without that. So, anyways,
Can't do Kosa names.
You got what's her names now?
and no Zulu or nothing. So Babes Wodumo is an artist that, let's say, South African house, and she dances a lot in the videos. So that's why my brother reckons. Now she had a couple of songs on the Black Panther soundtrack or in the film. So the South African house you would have heard would have been her songs with her now ex-boyfriend, who I think was maybe the label owner or something like that. So not only did they work together, they were going out. Now she was on an interview on South African radio station Metro FM. Now she doesn't speak English very well. She speaks isiZulu, so she speaks the Zulu language. And I think the way they talk on this radio is that they speak in English. So even if the people that speak in English, even if you speak back in your own native language, they still speak back in English. But I guess because there are a few languages in South Africa, they won't want to understand it. Now, it's come out that potentially she was going through some sort of domestic abuse. And she went to the interview just to talk about general artist stuff.
Yeah.
Them lot went down this road. And I want to play a little clip of it now, if you don't mind.
Keep playing clips.
I know, but it's not too bad.
But, babes, I think it needs to be said because I hate to see a young woman as talented, as smart as you, living in so much fear, babes, Wodumo. Right? You don't have to answer this question, but we all know, because we've heard from multiple sources, people who've witnessed the fact that you have been physically abused by Mampinja. That he has beaten you in your relationship. And right now, and I'm sorry, but right now you're sitting here, you're scared, and you're worried about what's going to happen next. Because you told us a tiny little truth, which is the fact that he went onto your Instagram and posted a picture without your permission. And it's deeper than that. And I can see it in your eyes, you're still suffering. And I don't want you to continue to suffer. Mampinja has no right to put his hands on you. It's unacceptable.
You obviously have a lot of decisions to make, babes. What do you feel like doing next? What do you feel like doing next?
Anders.
I think it's a natural answer to give.
Because she's not speaking English.
When two people have shared what you've shared and the relationship has gone to where it's gone, and I mean I can see the terror in your body language. That's why I was asking, are you okay? Because it's that obvious.
And you don't know this, babes, but I have a very close friend of mine who took you in the day Mampinja punched you in the face and you were bleeding from
Why
your
is this
nose.
woman just exposing this whole woman's business?
And you needed refuge. You don't even know that I know that story.
What the?
You don't know that I
don't like
know from someone else that he broke your leg. Babes, we live in a country where women are getting killed left, right, and center.
All right, I'm gonna stop it there. So basically, that was the interview. Now, before I tell you how she reacted to that later on, I want to hear what you guys think. So basically, she's an artist. She's gone to a radio station. I think it's one of the biggest radio stations in South Africa, and the hosts, this is a drive time show, have come out with like this. What do you think?
That's an ambush, man.
That's an ambush, bruv. That is an ambush.
There's a part I don't know if you heard it or if I let it get to that bit where she said, I don't even care if I get any clapback from the station. I'm gonna say what I need to say.
No. We didn't hear that bit, but that was a setup, man.
No,
That was not nice at all.
It's not your truth to be telling.
It's not nice. It's not even like to say she had replied at some point and they were talking about it. Then she mentioned that other stuff about being punched in the face. It's almost like she wanted to out her. If you're trying to help her, that's not the way you help someone.
Yeah, that's not your truth to be telling, man. Not like that. Not so public. If you wanted to have a discussion with her about what's going on with her life, you take that off air and you have a discussion about what's going on with her life to make it look and seem like you actually care about her and not just the ratings that come with it.
You didn't even bring her on the show to talk about domestic violence. It wasn't even like that. Do you know what I mean? I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I will say just before that, I think it was kind of like known that they might have broken up before she came on. So I guess people would say, well, you two are two of the biggest artists in South Africa. We're going to talk about your breakup.
Breaking up is a different thing to that.
Sorry, that.
Yeah, but we don't even know what the station organizers or even they discussed what is on the table, what we can and what we can't talk about. And Babes didn't make any reference to say, no, I don't want to talk about it or pull back or anything like that.
She didn't say anything, bro.
She
Like
allowed the conversation to happen.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you people listening can't see the video, but she looked pretty
she looked
meek
very,
there.
Timid.
She said something in there that, as far as I'm concerned, indicated exactly what was going on. She said, even the little thing that we said or something, you felt unfair that because of one little thing that we said earlier. So I don't know what she said to her earlier or something that she said that made her feel like, oh, I don't want you to say this because I'm unfair about what happened to me. If you know that she's unfair from just a little thing, why are you coming out with all the small stuff after?
But then why come on the show to have that discussion at all?
She didn't go on the show for that.
She could have nipped it in the bud. She could have said, I don't want to talk about
Yeah, but
this.
she didn't know. If somebody says something to you and you don't know what to do and it's already out now, did that woman look like she was giving her any chance to her to say anything?
She was hitting her with.
But she could still say, I don't want to talk about it. You can make a gesture. You could put a hand up. Why wasn't anybody from her management there saying, no, we don't want to talk about this situation?
All I'm saying to you is this, yeah? You see, fear makes people react in different ways, isn't it?
Yeah.
So she looked like she was Bambi in the headlights on that one because it caught her off guard.
But even from her non-response, then it would have been down to the radio station host to say, okay, I see you're feeling a bit.
Yeah, but she didn't. That's the point. She just went at her.
That's what we're saying. That's what's really wrong with this.
That was an attack, blatantly an attack.
Right, so,
and I think that I think it's an attack, not even partially on her, but she don't like the other guy obviously because of the situation, and she wants that guy to be got. So she was using this woman as a scapegoat
to try and out
to
the guy.
get that other guy. In a way,
let it be understood for the record that we're not saying that the guy should be getting a blight at all, but the way this woman has done this thing is not
right. For the lady, that's her truth.
Yeah,
she should be able to tell her truth, not somebody else come out and force her into telling her truth.
It was not even forced because, as we heard at the time, she didn't say anything. So she didn't force it to say.
So we don't even know if it's her truth.
I exposed. Well, okay, let me fresh.
That's the Wendy Williams business. Man.
So what happened was later on, she did get clapback from the public, like. Basically saying what you guys have said. Like, how could you just... This is her business to expose or not to expose. You know, it's not righteous for you just to put out all her business over the radio. But it seems that post this interview, Babes Wodumo, has been very supportive of what's actually happened. She's reposted these clips herself. I've found these clips through her social media. She's when people are saying, I support what this DJ did. Sorry, I didn't catch her name. I support her. She's retweeting all of those things. Like we need to out these people that do these kind of things. We can't support them by keeping silent, because keeping silent is some sort of support.
I can completely agree.
She's retweeting all of these things. She's not saying anything herself, but everything supporting what this DJ did, she seems to be retweeting.
I completely agree that you need to out these people. Same way that we need to out R. Kelly. Same way that you need to out all of these perverts that's in the industry. Out them. But what I'm saying is, you had her there. You could have asked her, are you prepared and able for me to tell this thing? And it didn't look like we don't know. But from what that videos look like, she didn't ask that question. And that's what I think is wrong. You should ask her.
So that's why I played that thing earlier on, because I don't know if there's like a big, our resident South African correspondent will be able to tell us more. But it seemed like from that video and from what this woman said, and from, because I was going through the DJ's social media as well, and the way she's going on is like, this stuff is rife in South Africa. This DV is rife in South Africa. We're basically
DV is rife in Africa.
We need to join
general.
the Me Too movement as well, kind of thing. Like it's popping off over there. Let's join in. Let's use this opportunity now as women to stand up and defend our sisters that are going through DV, and to not let it be normalized to call these people out. So I do think, like Wala said, it seems like she took this opportunity to say, you know what, this is one of the biggest artists in this country. She's going through this. This is a chance for us to say, she's left. Finally, she seems to have broken up with this person, because she seems much younger than he does. Like it does look like it's a relationship where maybe, I don't know, maybe there could have been some grooming along the lines, because she seems real young.
How old is this babes Wodumo?
Let me find out.
Because when I look at her, she doesn't look like a young woman to me, boy.
She does to me.
Is this the same woman that dances in the videos? Yeah?
Yes.
Does she wear wigs sometimes then?
With the one foot.
No, I think she colours hair. I don't think it's wigs. I think, whatever it is, she's always got red or green hair or whatever it is.
You know what? This links onto something that I was actually asked. I actually asked it on Twitter just today, and it's about obviously new age feminism and such, and how they think about stuff. Well, kind of like
23.
23. Okay.
She's 23.
She looks it.
If I'm thinking about the same woman, I don't think she looked 23. She don't look like the 23 to me.
But so I was asking the question about is that the same woman that dances in the
That's not
bar?
the same.
That's her manner.
Well, she looks different, man.
She looks
No,
different.
I'll play
The one
the
that she
video.
does one foot and she goes down on, and she
Oh no!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what we
not
think she's talking about. That's what we
her.
think she's talking
No,
about.
that's why I keep saying this is the artist.
That's why I asked you. She artist.
yeah, that's what I'm
We're
thinking.
not talking about the same woman. But fair enough there.
Yeah.
So then
I don't know that woman's name.
I don't know. I don't know her name.
I thought her name was
She
Bud.
just dances. She's not even an artist. She's like a.
That's what I just said.
She's like the Kardashian of South Africa.
I thought she was Zimbabwe, but I thought her name was Babes Wodumo.
I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
We're just getting the Africans mixed up.
Oh, that's not good.
But
They all look the same.
so I was saying on Twitter, I was asking the question basically, in this new age feminism that people are talking about with changes and stuff that's going around. What is our thoughts on dowries?
What, should the woman pay a dowry to the men's family?
No, well, so there's some countries where that happens anyway. I'm talking about with regards to men paying a dowry to the woman's family to take ownership of the woman.
Well, that's something that's tradition. So you're asking to change tradition.
But we're saying, is that tradition a problem? That's the question I'm asking.
I think the interpretation of the tradition can be a problem. I think if you take it away from money and look at it from the point of view that you've taken away one extra mouth from the house, which is also an extra able pair of hands that would help in the house, and then as part of an exchange, you then show that family that you are able to look after this person that you're taking out the family.
Well,
because
that's what I thought it to be. That
Yeah.
it was the case of that the whole point of the dowry is to show that you can provide for the person that you're taking.
yeah,
But again,
I see it more as like a payment almost.
See,
Like you're because I know in this in Europe, I know in Western Europe, what it was is that I not only do I need to show I can provide, is that I'm taking your daughter off your hands, and this is the token that I'm giving you to almost enough pay for your daughter. So I'm taking you away from her. She's mine now. Here's your payment. Leave me alone to deal with my wife. This is why, almost like in religious terms, it's like once the daughter leaves the father, it's not my place to intrude anymore. It's almost you've paid for her. It's your business now. That's why a lot of mothers and fathers historically will say, "Leave us out of your internal business. It's not our business anymore."
Yeah, but then I don't know if it's a payment thing like that, because as far as I know, with Nigerian families at least, when a daughter marries out, as much as, I mean, in my own tradition, you may not be liable for the stuff on your dad's side, but you now join another family and the families join together. Like, we have to meet the other family. We have to agree that you can actually get married to that other family. And after you are married, the relationship doesn't stop there. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So, I don't know, it's just a bit weird that this idea is that you've bought the woman.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people, that's how they see it, as this payment for the woman.
Isn't it
I
a
paid
half
for my queen?
Is it more a half and half thing? Because I mean, I know from going to a Lobola in South Africa, initially when you meet the parents, they both meet each other. It is to agree that, right, you're joining these two families. You can afford to take my daughter off my hands.
I don't have to worry about her upkeep.
Yeah, I don't have to worry about her having any issues or any problems. But you're also joining the family and bringing wealth to the family as well, added wealth.
Yeah, but in the video, if you notice, the man mentioned that he was like, just because it was the pronunciation Lobola. He was saying, because you've had a Lobola doesn't mean you now own the woman. So I think the interpretations maybe are not being, tradition is not being passed down the way that it's supposed to be passed down, and maybe the way that people are seeing it in 2018
possessively, innit?
Yeah, it's now you are possessed. I possess you because I've paid for you, type thing. And that has, as I said, even before when I was talking about the different type of mentalities that we put into people's heads, certain things like that will make a man feel like, well, I own you now, so I can do as I please. Same way when I was talking about the mentality of that people, when you say that, you know, you can just go and bang as many women as you like, it's the mentality that women are not worth that much that you can spread your whatever you're doing with whatever you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? So
I think whenever you want to talk about women's rights, and in the situation that we've discussed before, I think you need to put it the way that uncle put it in that. Can you imagine? The man was reading the news with beret, legend. But the way he put it, you couldn't argue it. It's indisputable. It's like, shut your mouth, don't argue. You can't argue.
But there's still many men that would argue.
That's
how they would argue. I don't know.
Ignorance, though, isn't it?
But that's not the way. That's not the way we do things. That's what you hear straight away. That's not the way.
That's what I'm saying. That's ignorance.
How can it happen that way?
It's my wife. I can do what I like.
I do what I want.
It's my wife.
If I want to beat her, I'll beat her.
It's not your wife.
There is many African men that will clearly, in front of everyone, say, if I want to beat my wife, I will beat her. And that would be it. He wouldn't even think that they said anything wrong.
I was on a Not Everyday podcast last week, bigging themselves up, and we kind of touched on this. And he said that there's still, I don't know if this was during the podcast or before actually, but he basically said that there's still men out there that say you cannot rape your wife.
Yeah,
was it on the podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like, you can't rape your wife.
There was a whole thing on Twitter just the other day about men saying, can you rape your wife? You know, if your wife told you no and you have sex with her, is it rape? People are asking that question like it's a real legitimate question to ask. But it was in part of law that at one point that you could rape your wife and it wouldn't be rape.
Yeah. And it wasn't even just in this country, it was in quite a few countries that was the case.
And it shows you the level.
I think India's the last one to come back into sorting that out.
Okay, so I'm going to link this into another question.
Go on.
Can I link it? Because this law,
I was just
this law that we just established, that this law was made, I'm assuming by men, we're going to say that it's men, most likely,
Yeah, more than likely.
That said that you can rape your wife without, any repercussions.
Any repercussions.
Right. So, in Ireland, they had the referendum, was it? No?
Yeah, they had a referendum last weekend in Ireland
about the rights of whether or not a woman can or can't have an abortion. Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, you know my thoughts on abortion.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm not, I don't like abortions.
So hold on, before you say you don't like your fault, some people don't know your faults. So,
okay, so
you're not pro-choice.
I know it's not a case I'm not pro-choice. I just don't like. I think you can do what you want with your body. I don't like abortions. Okay. If I could have people. Let me explain what I'm saying. Don't talk for me, innit?
Your first line was you're not saying you're not pro-choice.
Let him land. Let him land.
I know he's.
Let him land.
He's the opposite of pro-choice.
Let him explain.
You just said explain it.
All I said was,
so the people that don't know.
He could have overlapped me
talking.
Let
him land.
Land your plane. Your weak ass plane.
So I'm saying like this: I think you can do what you want with your body, and I don't want you to do what you want with your body, but you can do what you want with your bodies. I'm never gonna say that you can't. But I'm pro-child. Does that make sense? I think that every child should have the right to be born. Right? That's my opinion. But I also don't think that I have the right to tell you that you can't have an abortion. Does that make sense?
Okay, but we did discuss this earlier on this season.
Yes, and if you notice, my answer changed at the time when I said, if you asked me, would I get rid of it? And I said yes. But then after I said, but I don't want to get rid of it. I want you to be. I would get rid of it only if everybody was happy with it. But nobody kept everybody happy with it.
Huh? I know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I remember us saying, would we stop the law, or would we, if we could control it, would we make abortion illegal? And I think you said you would.
Yeah, but then I had a whole other thing after that where I was like,
because I view you. I'm the same as you. I don't agree with abortion. But then I said, I don't think I would make it illegal. And you accused me of being like a hypocrite. How can you say you don't agree with it?
No, that's not actually happened. Because I actually listened to it the other day. So it doesn't actually happen.
Okay,
I argued with the fact that I was saying, I would, if I could ban, if you said do it, I have to be, like, you didn't give me any choice. I said, if it was a choice, then I would say, you know what? He said to me, you would ban it or you keep it. I said, I would prefer, if it had to be the case that I would prefer that the child had to be born, I would prefer to keep it. So the child will be born. So if I had to ban it, I'll ban it. Right? Or whatever. Okay, let me finish talking. Anyway, I don't know why you're bringing it back. You should have just let me just carry on saying what I was saying. I don't understand why you're now reverting it back to whatever happened in the past. But,
so basically, you're pro-life, but you're still happy to let the woman decide to do whatever she wants to do with her body.
Yes, I'm pro-child.
Pro-life is when you. I think is the incorrect term, but pro-life is when you say the woman has a choice. It's not when you care about the child.
So what's the other one? Pro whatever.
I don't know what the other term is, but pro-life is when you're saying the woman gets to decide what she wants. That's pro-life.
I don't know.
That's pro. Well, let me check before I'm chatting rubbish. But anyways, continue with the story in general, because there was a question behind this.
So,
you're the one that took it to yourself.
No, because there was a reason why I was explaining it. But I can't even remember what I was explaining.
You were talking about Ireland and how they were having a referendum, and then you said, you know how I feel, and you started blah blah blah, and I said, well,
instead of just let me finish.
Don't say you know how you feel then.
All right, so
So we know your.
Are you upset with me now for what?
Kind of, because you just let me, instead of just letting me just do what I was doing, you just messed me up, and now I can't remember what I'm saying anymore.
I can finish every time, innit?
You finish when you do your questions. When you do your questions, you do get to finish. It's only after your questions nobody wants to hear you anymore.
So we know your thoughts on abortion.
So anyway, so then so I was having a discussion with somebody about this regarding this, and we was discussing whether or not the question that came up was whether or not men should have been allowed to vote in this referendum about whether or not a woman can or cannot have an abortion.
I was wrong, by the way.
Whether it was a good idea or not a good idea.
Or pro-life.
Pro-life, I was wrong. It's the exact opposite.
Pro-choice. Pro-life.
What did I say? Pro-life or pro-choice?
I can't remember.
You said pro-life.
Sorry, pro-life is when you want you oppose the idea of abortion, and pro-choice is when you agree with the idea of letting a woman have a choice to do it. Sorry.
Yeah.
So anyway,
so I'm not against pro-choice. I'm pro-life. Does that make sense? So I think you got the choice. You can have the choice, but I would prefer a baby to be born. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but it's not the correct terminology.
Okay, I don't care about the terminology.
Okay, all right.
But anyway, so the question was going whether or not
men should be allowed.
To have that basically that a chance to vote.
It's my sperms.
See, now this is what in my head, in the conversation I was having in my head, I said this. Yeah, I think men should have the right to be involved in these types of decisions. Yeah. But I don't think that they should.
Why not?
Because, just what I was saying to you guys just a minute ago, men, when they usually make these types of decisions, do not have women's intentions, their best intentions in the heart. Just like when they said that you can rape a woman as a wife and it's not a problem. Historically, they do not have the intentions of women in heart when they make these types of decisions. So that's why I'm a bit like, no. Because you're not going to do it for the woman, you'll do it for what you think is best for you. But on the reverse side, I think that because stuff like that is the reason why men have a disconnect with their children, because it's always seemed like the choice for children has got nothing to do with the man,
because it's been taken away by a woman.
I think I
don't know about taken away, but the choices is not people that see choices for women. I mean, for children to be the women's choice and it's up to the woman.
So essentially you're saying if I give up my sperm, I have no right to it once you're fertilizing my sperm. I don't have no rights to say how you should rear it or how you should do anything.
At the moment, that's actually how it is.
I don't believe that's right.
Again, it depends. Okay, so what are you then with this situation? Because in the end, that's almost exactly what it is. It's a woman's body. She has the right to do what she wants with it, whether or not your sperm is in there or not.
Yeah, I'm against abortion, but on the same hand, if you've got my sperm and you're growing my child inside you, I should have a right to have an opinion in what happens.
Yeah, your opinion, but then this opinion is law now, isn't it? It's not just an opinion.
Mm.
So in this situation here, it's like if you and your missus have a baby, you have a right to say to your opinion, I don't want this baby, or I do want this baby. Yeah. In the end, the woman's gonna be the one that makes the decision as to whether or not that baby is kept or aborted. Yeah. In a normal society. Yeah. Whereas in this situation, it's not just you and your missus. It's the whole of Ireland.
Yeah.
So it's like extrapolate that one situation to the whole of Ireland. What is your thoughts on that?
I kind of feel like the argument that men shouldn't have a vote, I can understand where they're coming from with regard to it, but I would say that maybe that everyone should have a vote, and maybe we should have a tiering system on how much a vote is valued, so that, let's say, for example, a woman's vote is, for easy numbers, because I'm shit with them, a woman's vote would be worth double a man's vote. You understand what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
So kind of like how the American electoral system works, where Donald Trump became president, but Hillary Clinton actually won the popular vote, and it was the electoral college that put Donald Trump in front. The same kind of thing to be with this.
So basically, the men should have a right to vote. They vote what they vote, but the women in the end should make the end of the decision.
Is that because they do double the work or something?
No, I'm saying it because as much as I think a man's opinion in this is valid for the reasons you said about him giving his intellectual property to a woman and her deciding what she's going to do with it. But because it's his intellectual property,
I'm just called sperm intellectual property.
That's precisely what it is.
Goddamn, 47.
It's DNA. That is coding. That is precisely what it is. That is you give somebody your cipher.
I just don't know if I've ever heard it called like that before. But it's
take my intellectual property.
Can you sign this contract, please?
So what I'm saying, I think they should have a say. Maybe the weighting of that say shouldn't be as much as women, but I still think they should have a say.
Okay, what do you think, Steph?
Well, going back to something you said about when men make the decision, they're not looking at the woman's, point of view.
Divorce.
I think that not divorce. No. I'm thinking there's two ways you look at it. You look at it from the woman's point of view or from the child's point of view, because are you voting for the woman or are you voting for the child's benefit? Because I'm not voting for the woman's benefit. If I was to make a vote, if I disagree with abortion, it's because the child should have the chance to be born. So it's got nothing. It doesn't. So as bad as it might sound, it doesn't actually have anything to do.
I slightly
with
think
the
it's
woman.
got nothing to do with man, woman, or child. This is all to do with religious benefit because they're highly Catholic.
Well, okay then. So let me flesh things out then. So this vote now isn't it's the same as the referendum for the Brexit in this country. It wasn't necessarily to make the decision whether it's this or that. Now it's just that we now have the opportunity to change the laws. So the laws haven't necessarily been changed, but they will be changed after this referendum. Because in Ireland, Northern Ireland hasn't changed, by the way. Northern Ireland is still very Catholic, but they're saying that the Irish stronghold on Ireland itself is changing. Historically, Ireland had a very Catholic background, very strong. The church and the state were almost more or less the same thing. Whereas now, due to a lot of the insidious stuff that's been going on in the church, it seems to have fractured between the people and the youngsters. Even though they count themselves as Irish, they were like the first Western country to support and to make it legal to have gay weddings in Ireland, a Catholic country of all places. So they're changing the way things are now. But the law before was that if a woman, it was effectively illegal for a woman in Ireland to have an abortion unless it was basically going to kill her or some sort of mental issues. I don't even know what the mental thing was, but it would have been a mental thing. So a lot of them would come to England. Punishable by up to 40 years in prison.
Jesus.
Which is more than you could get for rape in Ireland. But it has never been actually, it's never been enforced. Nobody's ever been done for an abortion. But the point was that was the law. So now they're effectively going to change it. So what you talked about religion is changed now. A lot of the people are saying that, we're not like that anymore. We're progressive. We're a progressive country. My personal views on it is that it's similar. It's basically what I said before. I don't agree with it, but I don't feel comfortable taking away the right for the woman to do it. So I would probably actually abstain from the vote if I were in Ireland and I had the chance to vote. I probably just wouldn't vote. But
I think I'm like you. I just wouldn't vote for it.
But so if the law stays the same, I would have to shrug my shoulders and say, well, part of it was me being apathetic about it, or maybe apathetic, and not voting. But I do. Yeah, so those are my views. I don't like the idea of abortion. I don't think any of us on this table do. Am I speaking?
No, not particularly.
But at the same time, I don't want to tell a woman what she should do with her body. It doesn't feel righteous for me to do that either. So I'm somewhere trapped in the middle, and because I can't reach over to eat either one side with any force, I kind of just sit there in the middle and just suck my thumb.
So that basically means, like what Simple said, with our intellectual property, we have no right over it once it leaves us.
Well, that's one time where women have more
power.
Yeah, in this situation, but not really because they can't have an abortion. In this case, no, not really because you still can't go and have an abortion.
Well, I think when it comes to children, not just this one time, in children in general, women seem to hold favor goes to women.
Well, it kind of has to be because of the way that you've set up the world.
Yeah, but even with and men wrote those laws as well.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
More for lust, then, isn't it?
No, I don't think they did
Not
it.
really.
They did it on purpose because then it allows you to distance yourself from the child.
Yeah, but
So you look at it like that.
In a way.
Wow.
then,
No, he's got a point.
but
I
that
didn't think
doesn't
about
make
that.
sense.
No, it does because it allows you to then go spread your seed.
Yeah, you have to remember, not every man thinks of the way of these are my children and I must take care of them. Not every man feels like that. Some men feel like this is not the right time in my life. This child will be alright because she's a good woman. Some men feel like I'm not built for this father stuff. I just like the sex. Who told you to go and have the child? So you're thinking from your point of view, where you're a conscientious person. Where you can't imagine for the life of you that you would have a child with somebody and not take care of that child. I know that I can't imagine that for the life of me.
It's interesting to me for women that are extremely pro-life. Hey, again, right term. Like like their views on this, or how they discuss it. It'd be like really interesting.
I haven't seen them many pro-life women, you know. So they probably exist, but you never hear them speak because they will get destroyed. But the way that person's put it to me, the person that's having the conversation was like this: if there was a referendum about men being able to have vasectomies, should women have the right to have that vote?
I think so.
I said that as well. But I said the reason why women would have the right. No, they said to me, "Would you have a problem with that?" And I said, "I wouldn't have a problem with women voting because in the end, men just wouldn't care about the answer. They'll just do what they're gonna do anyway."
That don't make no sense. If it's illegal, then it's illegal. Isn't it?
They will just do what they're gonna do anyway. Because the men are in power.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
So even if the vote was 70 thingy, the men will still decide, well, they were gonna do it again, or we're gonna change it, or we're gonna make it to what we want it to be.
Okay. For me,
do you really think we live in a society where it's actually what people vote for, the people want, is what we get?
What I think is you're bypassing the question to get to this is what I think would actually happen. Where I think the actual meat and potatoes. I mean, that is a meat and potatoes subject. Don't get me wrong. That is a good subject to have. But the subject of the question is completely different. It's the same way we're having this vote about women and men are included. What would men feel like if women were included? Or all you're saying is, it doesn't matter because...
But that's how I would feel.
And then you go to the next point.
You asked me how I'd feel, and that's exactly how I'd feel.
I would feel that it is important. Because then I want to think, what do I feel? Because like I say, a lot of the time, I always try and put myself in a situation when there's something that is foreign to me for me to understand it. I have to try and find a way where it makes sense to me. And this would make sense to me. I think it's a different question, really, to be honest with you. They don't equal to me, abortion and vasectomy. I don't see them as equal, but... at least it's something that is completely directed towards me. And it's a choice on my body, and I'm a man. And should a woman have a choice about my body as a man, and only a man can have a vasectomy? So, a male vasectomy anyway. So then that's the question I think they're asking, and that's what I want to look at. And because that's the interesting part. Would I want a woman to have a choice about that? Do I think you should even have a choice? What's it got to do with you?
I think essentially it would be the same thing though, because having a vasectomy is just like saying, right, well, you don't need to have an abortion because I can't give you a baby.
It's different. I'm not killing a formed. I'm not even killing the sperm. I'm just stopping the sperm.
You're stopping your intellectual property.
Even the fact that using the word killing would be seen as a negative way by some. I think
during an abortion.
Yeah, because people don't see it as killing. It's so weird how you can have two women. Let's say you had identical twins, women. Yeah, both of them get pregnant on the same day. One of them has an abortion at 7 or 8 weeks. One of them has a miscarriage at 7 or 8 weeks. The way that they describe the fetus, the child, whatever it is, could be completely separate.
Yeah, it's true.
It's mad. How their feelings for that particular situation, completely separate. One would say it's a fetus. No, it's not a child. Somebody would say, I've lost my baby. Do you understand what I'm saying? I've lost my baby. I've lost something that's part of me.
Yeah.
It's so mad. It's a mad situation, and as I said, men can't really understand it the same way that women do. But it is what it is. But what I do find interesting though is I would love to see the percentage of people that are pro-life, pro-choice. Pro-choice, yeah? That's the one that agree with abortion, yeah?
Yeah.
That have had a pet neutered or whatever it is when they take away their right for them to have a child or whatever it is. I would like to know.
Who cares, man?
Who cares? But that's what is. What do you think that's
In principle, it's the same
that's
thing.
that's
But
deep.
animals are animals, innit?
Yeah,
Oh, so it's cool to do that.
Animals
We are
don't have
animals.
choices.
But we are animals as
So
well.
it's cool to do that, to just take an animal and just take away his rights to have children.
Every animal
Yes,
matters.
yes,
Because you want to put them in the house and pet them.
All dogs matter.
Yes, because we eat animals. They kill them for fur and all that stuff. And come on now, let's not compare animals to humans. We insult people that do that all the time. They give more money to animal charities. They look after. We were just cussing it the other day. They look after animals better than they do humans. And on the other hand, now I'm not going to compare it.
I am not involved in this mutilation of animals.
Do you think animals will look at us and say, "You bloody human, you're such an idiot"?
You bloody fucking. I fuck you. I fuck you, bloody.
I told you that animals look at us like we're dumb on a day-to-day basis.
Anyways, so hold on. The fundamental thing was Stavros is saying that he would abstain from the vote itself, but if he had to choose, he would choose the pro-choice. Wahala is saying the same thing,
Yeah, I'm saying the same thing.
and Simple Simon and that actor. What are your final choices on the vote?
I'd abstain from the vote.
If you had to,
Yeah.
no, but if you had to make a decision, if you were forced to vote, like Australia, which I think is a wicked rule, by the way. Sorry,
I'd vote against.
you would be pro-life.
Yeah.
The child, okay? And Simple Simon,
I would abstain, given the choice, and if I had to choose, then I would probably take pro-choice. Yeah.
so Free would let the women make up their own mind, and that actor is sticking to his guns, and he's voting on what he actually believes in. So good on you. There is a question sent in from a listener, so I would like to remind you, listeners, that there are questions. Sorry, I butchered my man's name a couple of weeks ago. I'm never going to try and say it again now, but he sent in a question, and we answered a couple of things there. So I apologize for saying your name wrong, but thank you for
What
sending
time
the
is
question.
it, by the way?
Right now,
Mm.
it's just coming up to 7.
Oh, what time is the pod?
Oh, 1:15.
You know we gotta get to Pusha and Drake.
Yes,
yeah?
we're
But
gonna
how
get to
long-
Pusha and
how long as you know.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is, do you want me to do it now? Because we've got the GDPR that you want to talk about, the diversity training.
You can leave the GDP.
Morgan Freeman, I'm gonna toss him. Morgan Freeman's done some lecherous kind of things. Unfortunately,
Add him to the list. Oh fuck, whatever, isn't it? Fuck Morgan.
All right.
Add him to the list.
Oh wow.
Well, because I've done some of the stuff he's done. He put his hand on a woman's lower back. He's gone up to a woman and rubbed her shoulders. Now, I know I did that at work a lot, but I ain't even gonna lie. All that
In a sexual way?
No, because I didn't. No, like I said, if I was fancied the woman, I would probably never would have done it. It would have been the one woman that I just thought I
Yeah,
was
but
cool
then
with.
it's how did she take it?
That's the point. I might have thought I was cool with a woman,
No,
and then
he-
later on,
he
she
admitted that he did some lecherous behaviors. That's the point. He admitted it. So if you're admitting it, then fuck him. Go on, let's keep going. Sorry, sis. She told me that she don't like, she says she don't like me swearing. I'm trying not to stop my swearing.
Mm-hmm.
Sis? Who's sis?
My sis.
Oh.
She's like, you swear too much.
I'm trying to stop, and I've been trying to stop throughout the weeks.
Well, good on you.
Do you have a swear jar at home?
No, and I wouldn't put money in it if I did.
All right. So, do you want to do? Let me
Do the scenario.
Let me do this question. So, this was sent in by a listener. I would like to remind you, listeners, that you can send in your questions and your queries. You can send them in long form to esnpodcast@gmail.com, or you can DM us at esnpodcast on Instagram or Twitter.
Please don't do it on Instagram. Do it on Twitter, man.
All right, do it on Twitter. I do want to say, when you guys last week said that, you don't have the chance to say plug because I don't promote things. I remember the reason we said plug was because I was always promoting the group. We no longer have the group. That is why I would promote the group throughout the podcast. So that I was thinking, why would I know I wouldn't say go to our Twitter. And then I remembered, oh yeah, it's a group I always used to say. You could check it, it's on the group. We got this question from the group. Plug.
You can still, plug. Put the questions out on our ESN Facebook.
Wait, you man didn't say plug now?
Oh yeah.
Plug.
So wait, whoa. So the question I'm going to ask you here is:
Oh Lord,
is this person coming true as anonymous, or are we allowed to
this
pick
is
them up?
this is anonymous.
All right, cool.
All right. Okay. So the one in brackets is honesty always the best policy? It's a long thing.
Whatever you did was wrong already. From
to be honest, it's quite long, and I haven't actually read it. So
read it then.
So
let's see your reading
so
skills.
I can't even skip it. All right, I have a friend that's very honest, and I like her for that. I prefer people just to say how it is, especially among friends. She has openly told me that she thinks I have settled and feels that I have given my boyfriend wife treatment, and so my slim chances of marrying, my slim chances of him marrying me are partially my own fault. I told her it is what it is. I've come to terms with the fact that I might not ever get married because from the beginning he told me he thinks marriage is just a piece of paper, doesn't prove anything, and he doesn't need it to validate his love or commitment. However, he has not said I will never get married or don't want to. Me and a friend.
What? Hold on. What? Carry on again.
Which bit?
Because
you didn't hear what I said, or I made a mistake?
I clearly heard the man say that he don't want to get married
before they got together.
Yeah.
I think they said something later on that basically they thought the same thing before they got married as well.
Okay.
Because every marriage they saw kind of crumbled. But they've been together a few years now. The more they're together, she realizes, no, a marriage is a good thing, and she would like to get married. Okay. But anyway, let me continue.
Sorry for cutting you up.
That's cool.
Like I said, that we don't do every week.
You do it every week. I can't believe you said that. Anyways, so me and a friend recently had a chat, and she said that if I get married when I'm in my 40s, to not even bother invite her.
Wow.
Where? This is interesting. Okay, basically saying I shouldn't have to wait that long, and it's ridiculous. We are in our late 20s, me and my boyfriend and my friend. I have been with my boyfriend for 5 years, and we have lived together for about 3 years. He used to live with his mum, and I asked him to move in with me. I do absolutely everything. Cook, even make his lunch for work. No sandwich thing. I clean, not just his clothes, but the house. I do everything, but not for a ring, because I was doing all this stuff before. I was just raised to keep a clean house, be able to cook, and take care of my man. Plus, he is just the type of guy that doesn't really do housework as regularly as I like it to be done, if at all.
Okay.
My friend knows my boyfriend, as she has worked with him in the past, as we all work for the same company, but in different fields. It's not that she has anything against him. She actually likes him. Just thinks we aren't matched. She hasn't actually said the words "you could do better," but the only positive thing she says is he's handsome and very polite and friendly.
Friend wants peace.
She believes I deserve more, someone more ambitious and not as comfortable in life, etc. She thinks I am marriage material and thinks that there is other men out there that would marry me in a heartbeat. I'm Jamaican. What a shame. So is my partner. And she's Nigerian. We were both born here. We were both born in the UK.
Why's that even being mentioned?
Well, let me finish. Who knows? I just feel that, well, here we go. Your question is answered. I just feel from a cultural perspective, there's a lot of differences. As a Nigerian, she has it installed in her to meet a man that is on the same money as her or more to provide, get married, then live together and start a family. But money doesn't faze me like that. He earns a good salary. It just so happens I earn more. She does a shrug emoji. Because of that, I don't think it's right we split things down the middle. If we are not earning the same, how is that?
My money that.
How is that fair? We split the rent. We split the rent 50-50, but on other household bills, I pay more because I earn more, and he pays what works out a fair share on his salary.
You need to go speak to your Nigerian brethren.
We're getting there. So let me quickly try and finish it. She thinks I'm crazy for this. Yes. In my immediate friends and family, but this is the only bit where I've stopped. I don't even want to continue. I want to talk about that. Anyways, in my immediate family and no one is married. She thinks me being the breadwinner, having my own place, and having him move in with and be this guy 5 years, and him not having proposed, and the possibility of never getting married or not going married for another 8 to 10 years is crazy, and feels I've pulled the short straw. I'm getting there. Final run. We are planning on trying for a baby son. Well, let me say soon. I'm assuming she means soon. And she says I have given him wife benefits and given him everything already. So why would he want to marry me when he doesn't feel he needs to? I like honesty, but wow, how am I meant to take that? It's not like he takes advantage of me or anything, but I'm a giver. I can't help it. I like doing things for my man. So, ESN Podcast, I want to hear from all of you. What would you do if your friend who knew your partner said they feel you had settled and feel you deserve more? How would you take that? What would you prefer your friends, or would you prefer your friends not to be so honest when it comes to your relationship? Now, I know you guys want to run off in different directions.
Yeah, I was just about to think the same thing, man.
Let us answer
her
the
question.
questions that she asked first.
Yeah.
And then we can attack her after, because
Ladies, you gotta pick up your
all right,
socks.
so let me give you those
move back
questions
with your
again.
mama.
After I've given all of that, so thank you for the long question. We appreciate that. Once again, everybody else, you can send this in. You can DM us at ESN
I love
Podcast
these
on
long
Twitter.
questions.
Thank you,
And you
Anonymous.
can send in these long form questions at esnpodcast@gmail.com, and we will read them out and we will give you what needs to be given. So the questions are: what would you do if your friend who knew your partner said they feel you have settled and feel you deserve more? Let's stick with that. How would you take that? And would you prefer your friend not to be so honest? It's all one question.
Let's start with that, innit? Yeah.
It's all one question.
Okay.
How would you feel? And do you want them to
Who's
do
going
it?
first?
Go on, Wala.
Boy, if you're my bona fide, then I would want you to be honest.
All right.
I don't see nothing wrong with the honesty in that situation. I was actually rating the friend for coming out that honest.
Up Nepa, boy.
I don't understand any problem with you telling me if that's what you actually feel and you're doing it in a from a place of actually trying to help me. I have no problem. If you're just doing it in a place of malice, then yeah, go about your business. But if you're actually doing it in a place of that you actually feel that way and you're thinking that it's helping me by telling me this, then tell me. I have no problem with that. I have no issue with that. I might feel a way about you after. I'm not gonna pretend like I might not, but I'm still glad in my way that you've told me.
So be honest with me. But if I stop talking to you after you've said what you said, then you just have to deal with the consequences of being honest with me.
That's well. At least you know what type of friend you've got.
Somebody that when they say something is gonna
that-
jeopardize our relationship.
Well, that leaves a very unsolid foundation for a friendship. then.
That's what I'm saying. At least you know in the end, we both know what type of friends we are. But I said I might feel away. I didn't say I'm not going to talk to them. You just added all of that thing. I just said I might feel away. Somebody's still cussing my partner, innit, that I love. I'm going to feel away about it. I'm not going to say that I'm going to go and say I'm talking to you again.
Does it have to be a cuss?
What?
That they're saying that they don't feel.
To me, I'll feel like an insult, innit, because you're taking it personal because that's your person that you love. Whether or not you, in your sane mind, you're looking at it normally and thinking, well, it's not an abuse, it's just actually them talking the truth. But in my head, at the time, you hear it, you'd be like, you're kind of abusing my partner. You're saying that for me, the person's waste in a capacity.
Yeah, but your friend cares
in certain
for
levels.
No, what if they're not sending? What if they're just telling you that they don't feel like you lot are equally yoked, and so much so that you are gonna be the one that's gonna be putting in more labor, and they feel like you deserve, for the person that they know you to be, you deserve to not have to be put through that extra.
Yeah, if you told me like that,
That doesn't mean you're
no. But you told me like that,
Yeah.
that's different. Just a whole list of things she's telling me there's wrong with the guy compared
But
to you.
in essence, what she's saying is that you put in all the effort.
But it's not the
you make
essence.
all the money. You do all the housework. You pay most of the bills. You invite them into your house. So and then on top of that, you're saying that he doesn't even want to marry you. So what she's saying, unless this man is willing to give more or do more, that you deserve better.
Do better. Be better.
As I said, I might be taking it personal. The way that I'm hearing this might be completely different how the other person heard it, because I'm just hearing that because I think the person that she's talking about is not righteous. Let me use it that term because I don't know the person.
The friend.
No, I'm talking about the man that they're talking about.
You don't think the man in question?
If what that woman is saying is right, I would tell my friend the same.
Okay,
thing.
so what we're gonna say is the woman, the friend, and the boyfriend. So we
Yeah, okay, so
understand. So the woman has said what her friend has said, but then she has also added. She said
She's added her own, that's what I'm saying.
This is what our actual relationship is like. I invite him into my home. You know, he said he was not going to marry me. You know, I pay the majority of the bills.
The higgy hugger.
You know, I do all the cooking. I even give him packed lunch. Yeah, I clean the house. Not only his clothes as well. It's like so she has said that, not the woman. So the woman has seen all this and be like, fam, are you doing everything? And the man won't even marry you. Because that seems to be the big thing. Like maybe this is the Nigerian friend seems to be like, if you're gonna do all of this stuff, yeah, the man has to marry you at least.
But this is where I think she's wrong. I think the friend's wrong with that.
Because marriage don't mean that. Marriage is, end of the day, just a piece of paper.
Yeah. For me, marriage is just a piece of paper, depending on what type of, unless you're religious, obviously.
Yeah.
But in this situation, I don't think that this thing about, if you do all of this stuff for your man before you get married, he's not gonna marry, is bullshit. Because you could do nothing and the man won't marry because you did nothing. You could do all this stuff over the top and the man will marry you, and he's got nothing to do with all the stuff that he's done. He might just marry you because at that time in life he decides that's when he wants to be married.
Yeah, there was a video last week that I think we just completely forgot to talk about, where it was the what's the comedian's name? No, the bald one, the elder one, that he said that a man only has like
Steve Harvey.
Yeah, what was it? He said again.
Oh, Steve Harvey was saying that there's only one woman can change a man.
Yeah, so in essence, it's basically what you're saying. The man, you can treat a man all the best way you want to treat him or the worst way you want to treat him. There's going to be one woman in his life that he's willing to do X, Y, and Z for, to change for, to marry, to give his all through. It doesn't. So in essence, it doesn't actually matter what you do. So as much as you're saying he's rubbish, you are kind of saying the same
I'm not
thing.
agreeing with him.
Not one
That's-
woman, but
that's-
you're saying that unless the man wants to do it, it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you do. He can. It does. Or it matters because obviously everything has an effect. So it matters. But in the end, the man will marry you when he wants to marry you. He's not marrying you because of you've I don't know, you treated me like a husband all this time. That will play effect and it will have an effect on it. But I don't know men that's not marrying a woman because of the fact that they've done things that like a wife should do. I've never heard any man say to me, "I'm not marrying my chick." Why? Because she already treats me like I'm a husband already. I've never heard that in life.
I will co-sign that. I will say, because I was going to say I married my woman because she was wife material, but I don't think there's a man that is with wife material and saying I'm not going to marry her because by definition she's wife material.
It makes
So
no
in essence,
sense.
she does all the things that a wife should do, so why should I marry her?
That makes no sense.
I don't know any man that says that.
I think the angle that they're coming from is you're doing everything. The friend's coming from, sorry, is that you're doing everything that a wife should do. You're not a wife yet, so he doesn't have to get. In order for him to receive wife treatment, he doesn't have to make you a wife.
But the point is, what man marries a woman to get wife treatment?
Of course, I hear you.
No. So this is something for you women to forget this. No man marries you thinking. Women marry thinking they're gonna get more after the wedding. Man don't think that. Man marries what he's happy with at the present time. So if he's gonna marry you or he's not gonna marry you, that's what he's marrying. What is in front of him. You women is always looking at, oh, when we get married he's gonna do this. When we get married he's gonna no. Men don't think like that.
There's certain things that men may think about. Oh, when you get married, you ain't going out no more.
Yeah, or
stupid things like
you're gonna
that.
dress a bit different.
Yeah, stupid things like
you
that.
know, you're not gonna flirt as much as you used to.
Yeah, but as a person who you are,
but not you're going to start cooking more. You're gonna start. I don't think so. Not homely stuff anyway.
You say most women essentially marry to change that man.
Women marry ambition.
Stavros says this a lot. I think a man marries a man is happy with what he's married with, and that's what he marries. And a woman marries like the
potential.
I don't want to use the word potential, but it's kind of like that. It's like I
marries
see,
the possibility of change.
I see, this beaker holds 100 milliliters, and you are 70 at the moment. And I see you're gonna fill up that 30, so I'm gonna marry you. There.
They have a lot of faith in
so
their
the
men.
possibility of change.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Whereas the man sees 70, milliliters. If he's happy with that 70, he marries it. He's not there looking. Well, you're gonna be 80, 90, 100 at some point.
A man will marry 70 milliliters and say, whatever you do, don't go below that 70 milliliters.
Yeah.
And a lot of men will marry the 70 milliliters and find 30 somewhere else.
Yeah.
It's like I'll find the 30 somewhere else.
the 30,
like, I'm
but-
not expecting you to do it. This is what I'm married. But if you ain't got a big bottom or you don't,
You can't bring up the rear. Don't worry about
you
it.
get me?
I've got a breakthrough.
even forget even like cheating and stuff like that. If me and you can't hold a conversation with, you can't make me laugh, but you do everything else, but you don't make me laugh. So let me find another woman that makes me laugh.
Yeah, I hear
They'll
that.
find it somewhere else. So anyway, so we're kind of branching off.
Yeah,
too much.
don't digress.
So you guys, while he's giving his point
We should go back to it though because it's a good conversation.
about that thing. Oh, yeah, we've spoken about it before. But anyways, all right, fair enough. If you remember, bring it back to that. So, do you want your friend to be honest? Wahala said that he wants his friend to be honest. It might have an effect on their relationship, but he appreciates the honesty. Do you? But in this aspect we're talking about, like this raw, real honesty, not just whatever. Do you want it? You don't want it? You feel
That soya pepper.
just keep your mouth closed on certain subjects. It doesn't need to be said. What do you reckon?
Go on, sorry.
Go on, the actor.
I was gonna say, I think honesty, especially in a long-term friendship, I don't know how long these guys have been friends, is needed and is necessary, because sometimes you may stray off the path. You may not see what you're doing clearly, and if that friend is a good friend to you, then your friend say, look, you need to look at this and recognize this and see where you possibly are going wrong, or you can improve, or you can be better, and so on and so forth. I don't see the friend liking the man because they have a friendship as well, and she's seeing things in him that she doesn't like, maybe even for herself as well as for her friend. So she's trying to guide her friend to be on the right path, or to be more righteous, or to be more of a better woman in that respect, to have a man deserving of her, which is why she's being that honest to her.
So, do you want your friend to be honest to you?
Yeah, I would like my friend to be honest to me.
You could deal with that raw kind of honesty.
Yeah,
In this era, and in this specific subject, you actually have a partner. I've met your partner before. Would you want me to start pointing out, nah, she's not good enough for you because of this, this, and this?
Yeah.
You'd want me to say that?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Simple Simon.
I'm gonna say yes as well.
You'd want me to point out all the negative things about your missus and say she ain't good enough for you?
And you know what's so funny?
If you actually thought the person wasn't good enough for them, though.
Yeah, not malicious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sitting you down and I'm talking to you.
I'll tell you this, right?
Especially if you know they're going to stay together.
I do this anyway, yeah? I have 3 people in my family that any woman that I've ever been with, I'll ask them because I know that they'll give me the true opinion. Now, obviously, your family is slightly different to your friend. I get that. But this is the question that I ask them. What do you think of this person? And when they say, oh, they're all right, well, I said, no, I didn't ask you, how you feel about them superficially. What do you think of this person and their compatibility with me? Yeah? And I've got an aunt and my dad and my mum are the 2 other people that I will ask because they will tell me.
That's good that you can go to your parents and say,
yeah,
I would love to hear this.
Yeah.
They will tell me. That's just outright no. So I asked that question. So yes, if a friend was going to do that, then not only would it not be something that's out of whack for me because I do it anyway, but I would appreciate it.
Yeah, she's all right, but how do you deal with the bad breath? Is it like that all day or just when she comes and talks to me?
That's and it's that level of trill that I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay.
So, and for me, the reason why I asked the question is not because of necessarily doubts that I'm having, but I know that I don't have 360-degree vision. I know that sometimes when you feel a certain way about a person, you can blur, you can overlook things. So if I'm not overlooking stuff, I would like to know that the people that are, as far as I'm concerned, my riders and who know me and who know my potential, who know what I've been through and who know what I can stand for, if they can see something that I'm overlooking because I'm blurred, I want them to tell me. If they, like, it's happened with my dad before. My dad said to me before.
Vision.
He said to me before, I don't know. This is when it wasn't helpful. He said, I don't know what it is about this person, but I can't put my finger on it, but I'm wary.
And that is not helpful because they're not actually telling you what's wrong.
That's what I'm saying to you. So
let me throw some ambiguous dirt on your relationship.
That's what I'm saying. So I even said that to him. I said to him, you know what? That as much as I appreciate you being honest, he goes, you know what? I said to him, you need to pinpoint something because you can't tell me that. That's all you're doing is pushing me into a state of paranoia now. Yeah, because now I'm just always looking for something, and he's like, it's not that. He doesn't think it's malicious. He doesn't think it's a malicious aspect of the person. He thinks it's just a flaw in their character that will expose a problem in the relationship.
All right.
And that's the best way that he could put it. So it was like, I couldn't look for anything because it wasn't anything in particular, but he just felt like there was a flaw in them that would, you understand what I'm saying, not be compatible. So that's, yes, I would take the trill friend all the time.
All right.
But I'll be honest with you, sorry, I have to break. I have to break. I'll be honest with you. I feel like the Nigerian girl fucked the Jamaican girl's man.
What?
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
That's what I was thinking as well. I think they had something.
I'm sorry. I know this is a dilemma and we're giving advice.
But so you what you've exactly just done, you've explained that your father has said something to you that's decided that's been a bit ambiguous and blah blah blah, and put something, a seed in your head that they're automatically gonna carry on thinking that for the rest of your relationship. So now that's whoever the anonymous person is has now put a seed in this person's relationship that this woman has fucked her man.
And I'll tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying. I don't have to be right.
Yeah, but you're putting that person's head.
I put it in the head, but I don't have to be right. But I'll tell you why I'm saying that.
I'm interested to hear because I didn't get that, so I'm interested.
I got that from the beginning.
When someone's telling you that they don't feel like somebody's good enough for you, and then they're giving you examples about, he doesn't clean that much, he doesn't do all of this that much or whatever.
You know what? She did say your boyfriend's very handsome and polite.
There you
nice.
go. There you go.
So you're adding your own as well.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm just busting the joke.
I'm saying, I don't know. Maybe it's just a feeling that I got from the explanation, but I just felt like she's telling her friend that he's not good enough for you because she knows he's not good enough for you because she's.
But they all work together, remember?
Yes.
So she knows the man.
Can I, what's your answer?
My answer is I want people to be honest with me, but it's just similar to you. It's because I love my wife so much and because I think I know her so well. So unless you guys are spot on, because my wife is not perfect, so you can say something that I agree with and it's cool. The minute you say something that I disagree with, and you're so I don't know what it is, but I disagree with what you're saying. It's gonna be an issue for me.
Okay.
It'd be an issue for me either way, to be honest with you, because as much as I like honesty, I don't know if I want you to. Okay, let me.
That's
be
your trigger.
Let me be super honest.
Would it be something your ego could handle?
It's not.
It's just his trigger. His wife is his trigger.
It's not even about ego. It's just that I don't know. I just think I'm good enough with relationships that you mans don't need to come and tell me, oh, I don't think this and that about your missus. You mans can talk to me about anything. I don't like what you're wearing. I don't like how the job you're doing. I don't like the direction you're doing in life. But the minute you start talking about this woman, because my woman is a queen. So if you're told me, like my first girlfriend that some of you mans know, I had negative comments made all the time about her. I couldn't defend it. There was nothing to defend. Like when you said she was this or she was that, I couldn't say nothing because you were right. So that's when it didn't bother me as much. It didn't bother me at all because all you're doing is you're being true. You're telling me the truth. If you said something negative about my wife now, I can't think of the negative thing you would say. So the minute that you're then bringing up something that I'm probably going to disagree with, because anything you would say that's serious that's real, is going to be some menial, insignificant thing. And then it's like, well, why would you mention the fact that she uses like long grain rice to cook or basmati rice to cook jollof or something like that? Then it's just like, why picking something?
Nitpicky.
Yeah. So anything that's serious, you can't find something serious about my wife. So then if you really believe what you're saying, then it would bother me because it's like you'd be wrong. And now it's almost like you're insulting my wife.
And you got a thing about people having the wrong information. That's your friend as well, so that would make it even worse. You don't like people walking around thinking something wrong.
Yeah, and it's my wife, innit? You can't be. So I know that this is going through your mind. Maybe you've spoken to other people about it before, and you're just not lies, but just something that's not true. No, because lies is when you say something you don't believe. This is what you do believe it.
I meant it was an incorrect truth. In your head is the incorrect truth.
Yeah, well, it's not a truth at all. It's just a foolishness. But anyways, so that's my opinion. So I would like it, but then it might actually have an effect on the relationship.
All right. So going back to the question,
On the relationship or the friendship?
The friendship.
Going back to the actual dilemma and going to Simple Sammy, who decided that this woman has now slept with the woman's man. Yeah. Going by that situation that this woman told you, yeah. If you was the person, if you were the friend, yeah, you were the friend.
Mm-hmm.
Would you look at that man and you know that, and the girl's exactly how she describes herself, the man's exactly how she describes the man.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that that person is good, too good for the person? Would you have that same opinion as the friend?
Okay, well, yeah. So now we're looking at it and we're actually saying if we agree with the friend or not.
Oh, we agree with the friend.
From the information we have.
I would say no. I don't agree with a friend because what is good enough for somebody? If somebody takes you up and they want to be with you, then they obviously feel like you're good enough for them. So who am I then to come and tell you who's good enough for you or not? If
that was your sister,
yeah,
and she was the girl, the woman in the question,
yeah,
you wouldn't think you would think that it's cool. That's good enough for your sister because she thinks it's good enough for herself.
I can feel how I feel.
No, I'm asking. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying to you, I can feel how I feel, but I can't tell her then now that he's not good enough for you. What's that about?
But do you feel that it's good enough for her?
Sorry?
Would you feel like he was good enough for her?
Given how he was described?
Mm-hmm.
That's a standard man though, isn't it?
Do you feel that it was good enough for her?
Do you think he's pulling his weight in the relationship? Do you think he's, in terms of relationship, like, to and fro?
Not by my standard, he's not, no.
So do you feel like he's... I want him to answer that question.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he is good enough for that woman?
Yes or no?
Yes or no?
For your sister?
For your sister. If that was
you don't have a sister, but like my sister.
Yeah, whoever.
I'm just gonna say yes because that's her choice.
Okay,
that's her choice. I can't make a choice for her.
I'm saying by your standards.
By my standard, I would say he's a standard. By my standard, I would say no because of who I am.
That's what I wanted to. Thank you.
By my standard, because of who I am. But
I will now cease asking you questions because I have received the answer I want to hear.
No further questions. No further questions.
No further questions.
At this moment, Your Honor, we'd like to adjourn.
Okay, then. So that actor. Hearing the story of their relationship so far, do you feel that the Nigerian friend is actually correct in what she's saying?
In a lot of elements, she is correct. And like I did mention before, even when Simple mentioned it, I think they did something.
Oh yeah, you tell me why that as well, because Simple said why. So Dax, I want to know what in the story made you think that they've had
it's the same thing. They've worked together for a period of time. She finds the gentleman appealing and handsome and likes him.
Enough now.
They've had.
You work together. You look kind of nice.
Hey, listen.
You must have bagged the boy.
Everybody at some point has a work wife or a work husband, and they might take that little relationship just that little bit too far.
Bro, man went 50 Shades, bro.
I cannot
listen.
throw that on the next person that they've slept with the
Photocopy
person.
machine at the
Because
Christmas
they
party,
because they're
bruv.
giving somebody good advice. They've slept with the man. Now I'm not having that.
So you feel it's good advice?
Yep.
Okay then. They've been together 5 years.
Mhm.
They seem relatively happy.
See, for me, this is where you know what you say. I'm just taking what people are saying and I'm making it my own in my head. Yeah.
Yes.
I think she might be all right. She didn't sound happy to not be getting married. For one, yeah. So she's not.
In that, I said, in that respect, there was another thing that was sent to me, and in essence, she said, in the beginning, we were equally yoked in that way. I was happy to not get
But
married.
now she's not.
But
happy.
now she's been together 5 years with the person.
Uh-huh.
Not happy, but now she can see marriage in her future.
Okay.
She would like to marry this person.
I don't think.
But does he see it?
No, he says he doesn't want to get married still. He hasn't changed what he said from the beginning. She's changed. He hasn't changed.
Sorry, in that description, did she say where the guy was from? She said
He's Jamaican. She's Jamaican. The friend is Nigerian.
This is weird because Jamaican man, as far as I know, normally cook more often than not.
He might be.
Well,
he's
European.
British.
Yeah, he's not one of them
British
Jamaicans,
Jamaican,
innit? He's not one of them.
Some slang.
Strange, bro. It's bizarre to
And
me.
they clean a lot as well.
They clean a lot as well. Yeah,
So
it's
I want
bizarre
to hear what Hala.
He's got a typically English name as well.
All right.
There were no names there, man. Look at you.
He's such a pagan.
Go on.
If I was a Nigerian friend and this was my brethren, like this was my bona fide, so you know I got a bona fide girl that is one of my friends. If she came to me and told me that this was her man, I'll tell her I don't like that man for you. Go find someone else. Straight. If she told me that she was giving more money, if she told me, and this again, yes, it's the Nigerian. If you told me that this man is earning less money, I'll have no problem with that. But if you're telling that because he's earning less money, he's not pulling the weight to the same level as her, he's not matching her with the bills and whatnot, I'm not having that.
No, but
alongside-
she said that he pays his percentile
Of the rent.
of the. He said they split
They
rent
split the
50-50, but the bills he pays his percentile in relation to what he earns.
Yeah. So what? Pay what you pay. You pay half,
But
or you
voila.
pay more.
If she said
Okay.
all of this, but came with, I'm happy with him.
I'll tell her to find somebody to be better happy with.
Why? When she's happy with him.
I'm not happy with him though, so you can't find somebody.
But it's not about you.
It's always about me. In this situation, you're asking me about what I think, yeah?
No,
And
you're the friend telling her.
yeah, and I'm telling her because she's asked me in by being in my presence what I think
Oh,
about her
fuck
life.
it. hell.
You would not be invited to the wedding.
That's fine. That's fine. I won't go to the wedding. I'll be one of them.
It's peak when a woman said, "Don't invite me to your wedding if you're over 40." That's a nonsense.
That is where she just started to get to
I-
a ridiculous foolishness.
I don't know where that come from.
That
man.
is just a ridiculous.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
That was spiteful.
Because the truth comes out at the wedding.
No, that was spiteful.
He gonna say me and Lola did something.
No, that was spiteful. Right there, that was spiteful,
Shout out, Lola.
and that was rude.
Yeah,
And
that one there. Okay, because all the other things you could say were quite. As much as they come across harsh and they're not, whatever things you might not want to hear. At least they're things that us man is almost kind of agreeing with. Maybe not the marriage part. I'm not gonna say that you shouldn't get married, whatever. But anyway, she has a point. But that bit about if you getting married after 40, taking into account they're in their 20s, don't invite me. Like, well, that just seems malicious. It's like, where did that come from? Because all the other things you could say came from a place of love for their friend, but that cannot come from a place of love for your friend.
Yeah, not
that comes
supporting
from a place of intolerance and non-support. Well, there's no goodness in that bit at all.
Is she saying after 40 with this guy or after 40 in general?
No, with this person. If this man has taken 15, well, they've been together for 5 years. What is it, mid 20s or late 20s? They say.
Yeah,
So,
mid.
well, anyway, so you spent your whole 20s with this person, your whole 30s with this person, and then you come and ask me, and come, you want to be part of my wedding or whatever it is, or don't invite me to your wedding after 15, 20 years.
That's foolishness.
It's like, what difference does that
Yeah,
make?
that's a petty friendship.
You should be happy, like, oh wow, you've been together for 15, 20 years.
Exactly.
And now you're getting married.
Yeah.
That's the cherry on the cake. If marriage is so important to you, you would say, at least you were together for all that time. That is the marriage on the cake.
No.
I'm happy to celebrate that with you.
Unless you're the friend that says if you've been stupid enough to be with this man that's been taking the piss for X amount of time, and then you're still going to go and marry him, then maybe I shouldn't be your friend because you're an idiot.
You know
Wait,
what?
or
Then say that.
is the friend married?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
It
Which
might
is,
be a
which
case
is
of jealousy.
further why I feel like she might have fucked the man.
Now, as far as I'm concerned, with this situation, there's certain things that they said that I would like. I don't think this man is like. Okay, I wish Mr. Wolf was here because Mr. Wolf and Stab are the biggest traditionalists here. Yeah, especially when it comes to stuff like the provision and what the person does in the household and stuff like that. So a lot of the time, these mans will say, "In fact, let me not talk for them." How do you feel about when it comes to stuff like the provision and the split in the house? How do you feel about that type of stuff
Paying bills
in general?
It's
How you
No, yeah,
providing
needs
for
to be
your...
specific.
Yeah, so like providing for your woman. basically.
A man's job is to provide.
Yes.
When I would like to say though, when I met my missus, so let me just be real. I moved into my wife's house when we got married. It was her house. Yeah, so we're in the process of looking to buy something now. But I moved into my woman's house. It is Nigerian law that a man should not move into a woman's house. That is part of the.
You blocked your head.
Let me finish, man, because we're running out of time. That is something that I actually co-signed. I didn't want to move into her, but at the time she was.
You want to move into her?
Of course I do. Of course I do. I didn't want him to move into her house, but she was earning more than me when we were going out in the beginning, and she had her own place, and I didn't. I was with my parents, and I was earning less than her. So in this case,
you were this man, basically.
in this case, well, she does more housework than me. She does all the cooking.
You are this man.
So you could say. In some, but when it comes to bills, it's never that. So that's the point. It's your house, but you can't. But when I moved in, it's not your job. It's not your job to pay. That's my job. And then on top of that, I made my way to make more money than her. So she doesn't earn as much money as me now because I said I needed. Like I said it a few weeks ago. The day that I got my promotion, where I did hop skip her in wages, is the day that I asked her dad, I would like to marry your daughter. Now, maybe that was the day I felt comfortable. Maybe that was the day I felt, now I feel righteous enough
the balance
that I can actually ask.
Siaga.
And again, it links back to the traditional thing where we're talking about the dowry.
And
now
being
own
able,
her.
well,
And being able to provide.
I can financially provide for your daughter. I
You have the
now
strength.
earn enough to, because before, not that she would cater for me. I'm not going to go into the ins and outs of relationships, but she didn't. So whatever I was earning, she didn't necessarily cater for me. But now at least I know I'm earning enough to definitely I'll cater for you. So that's when I went to her dad and asked that question. So in many respects, I'm similar to this dude. In many respects, I'm similar to this dude. If an outsider was telling this woman that he's not good enough for you, then I'll tell her, well, that's your choice to believe this woman or not. But there are other factors than just who's cooking, who's cleaning, and who's paying bills. End of the day. So as much as you're just rubbishing the person, there are other factors in the relationship other than just those, like who does the menial housework and who pays the bills.
Nah, you got some things you need to take a strong
Does
hold
the
about,
person
man.
love you? Do they talk to you? Are they listening?
love rubbish.
Do they
That's it.
what love got to do?
What is this love rubbish?
Listen.
But that's it. It's an important part of a relationship.
Love
Though.
can't cook food, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, bro. Look,
How do you feel with this person when you lie down with them at night?
I feel like you ain't paying half your damn bills. That's what I feel like.
But this is what I say to you. Who am I to then, as a friend, to tell you that this person not good enough for you?
On the face of it, you can pick at those things, but there are other aspects in a relationship that you can point out.
Obviously,
We only have a few minutes left, so if you want to talk about,
we are talking about. There is nothing about it. It's a long podcast today, but we have to talk about.
I
Pusha.
sense there might be a tad bit of jealousy with the friend because she's in a relation. Her friend is in a relationship with a man. She's happy. The man may not be good for her in the friend's eyes, but she's happy with him. We don't know whether this woman, the friend, the Nigerian friend, has a relationship or has somebody
and is happy.
I'll
be interested to ask the lady if she's actually happy with the man.
And I want to know what the man's thought on this is. If she's disgusted with the man.
goddamn,
Lola don't like you, innit?
Okay, yeah. So if you are out there, well, you're gonna be listening because I'm sure you want to hear the answers to the question. She said that you guys are honest, and I would like an honest answer. I think we gave an honest answer, and then we went above and beyond.
Looked at me when he said that.
No, I looked everywhere.
She either sexed him or she wants to sex him. I'm saying it.
But hey, so watch out for your Nigerian friend.
With all my chest.
Yeah.
He's rubbed your shoulders.
If she's an Igbo girl, then she definitely wants to do it.
God damn,
He
47.
put on his own tribe, boy.
That's right.
I love you. Keep on your. Big up, fine girl. Fine. What's it? Fine Igbo Twitter. Fine Yoruba Twitter as well.
Oh,
Big
okay.
up.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, so come back at us and tell us if you're happy in your relationship, if you feel comfortable saying that. But thank you for your questions. Once again, at ESN Podcast on Twitter, send us
We want dilemmas, man.
DM us with the dilemmas.
We want dilemmas, man.
Yeah, I do like, because we had a lot more in the first season. We had dilemmas all the time.
We are officially your agony uncles.
Yeah. This season it's been a bit sparse.
The bush ones as well. The bush agony uncles.
Yeah, so
They're kunle.
we'll give it to you, bro. So all right, we'll finish off.
We don't have crystal ball. We don't have that.
The last topic. Last week, a couple of hip hop albums were released. ASAP Rocky was released. He released an album called Testing, and the big boy, I've forgotten his name.
Bro, you're just making it long, man. Pusha T and Drake have got beef, and Drake has kind of been winning. Drake is winning at the moment.
Do you bang like this? Is there no foreplay or nothing?
No,
Just like,
man.
Take your panties off. In fact, don't bother.
To the side. To the side. Nah, man. Because there's certain situations you have all this lubrication you're doing.
no, I need to be fleshed out.
You know what you have to bang in it. Some people, you say we ain't got no time. This is one of them in the corner bangs. Come on, let's get
Some
this done.
people don't even know who Pusha T is.
Okay, Pusha T is the vice president of Good Music, which is run by Kanye West. He's a rapper that used to be in clips. He's been in the game for a certain amount of years. He's now 40 years of age. He released a new album called I don't know what the album's called. Oh, Daytona. The album is fat. At the end of the album,
7 songs.
He's got one song called Infrared where he takes some shots at Drake,
And Drake's label.
And Drake's yeah.
You know, boss.
Drake, Birdman. He did take a shot at Lil Wayne.
Okay.
He said he backed Lil Wayne, yeah, but he take a shot at Drake, he took a shot at Birdman. This isn't the first time he's done this. If you remember the video where he was doing the cocaine mans and all that stuff, that was shaking a shot at Young Money and Cash Money as well.
Drake and Pusha have had a
long-standing beef
for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, the song is wicked, by the way. Infrared is a fantastic song, probably my favorite song on the album.
Good song,
right? But he's taking shots. So he released the album on Friday.
Yes.
In the morning.
Yes.
By the evening,
Drake
had already come back with the diss track and made that album almost irrelevant because people didn't care about the Pusha T album anymore. They just cared about the Drake diss track.
All right. So we all heard the diss
Drake
track.
rebuttal, yeah.
All right. We all heard the original song as well, by the way.
Yeah, I've heard it. I'd listen to it today.
Okay. So what do you think?
I think that Drake is winning 1-0. Not only because he sent out the track, but he sent the invoice as well.
He sent it what?
He sent an invoice to Good Music, invoicing
Yeah,
them.
Do you know why? Because
in the song he said it.
He said, wait, okay, so let me flesh it out. I'll flesh out the background of the story. Drake, it came out that during a reference track was given to him. A reference track is when somebody else kind of like makes a song for you, kind of like does the outlay, maybe the chorus, and then they give it to you to fill it in. So this was one of Drake's biggest songs at the time, and somebody else had done the chorus, whatever, some of the lyrics, and maybe Drake had sprinkled in maybe 20% of his own stuff, but he had done the track. So then the big thing came out. If people are calling Drake one of the best rappers of all time, man doesn't even write his own lyrics. You can't do that anymore. So Pusha, I don't know if they had some underlying thing in the first place anyways, but then Pusha went in there and was happy to insult man for 1, not writing his own lyrics, for 2, for being signed to Young Money, which Young Money is underneath Cash Money, and Baby, the owner of Cash Money, is well renowned known for raping his artists and taking their money. So then Drake might have done a little kind of jab back, but he's never really gone at him like he's gone at other, like he went at Miko, for instance. Yeah, he's gone at other rappers. He didn't really go at Pusha, and people were like, well, don't go at Pusha because Pusha's the drug man extraordinaire. All right, so this has gone on for years, and Pusha has jabbed every so often. So now this album come out, and he says, well, when Rick Ross talked about Birdman being the thief, everybody bigged him up, but I said the same thing from before, and this man as a rapper is still a fraudulent rapper based in so many words.
His words were, when I was killing Baby, everybody was going on like I was actually killing the baby.
Lyrics. All right, so
big up man like King Push. Can we address him as properly King Push?
All right. So he said that like while I said on a Friday morning. Now, it seems that Drake, well,
he also mentioned Quentin.
Yeah, so that's what I said. He mentioned the lyrics and thing again that you don't. How can you be considered one of the greatest? You don't even write your own lyrics, like basically blah blah blah. Now, one of the things when Drake came back again, like I got this before 10 o'clock was my time. So this is America. They're at least 5 hours behind. In West Coast is even longer. So I don't know how many hours it took for him to do this.
The audacity.
But one of the things he sighed at the beginning of the song.
He said the audacity.
All right. But then he said, after he sighed, he's like, and he said the audacity. He started off with that. Now the things he went at was, listen, Kanye West is somebody who has requested my help on his albums. This is known fact because Kanye has even tweeted it out. People then went and got the receipts of the tweets. He said, I did this as a favor for him. Yeah. No charge. Now, for helping you out on your album, not Kanye, you Pusha, because now you're going to get more listens because I'm talking about you, because you're that small of an artist that when I talk about you, I actually sell more of your records than you do. You owe me money. Pusha T sent a tweet saying, yeah, send the invoice then, innit? That's what Pusha said. He said,
And send invoice for 20, he said.
He said, send the invoice for 20. Man, send an invoice for 100,000.
Drake is, I'm telling you, Drake is ultra petty. He's ultra, I love it when he's like, oh my God. I'm here for this beef.
I'm telling you what, right?
Yeah.
Drake's beef energy is, he's got Chip's work rate.
He's fantastic.
He's got Chip's work rate for beef. Yeah, because you know that Chippy was at a point where he will leng out the reply in a couple of hours. That's how Chippy was going on.
Chip was mad.
He didn't waste any time.
He didn't waste any time. He pulled up on a man and said, "Okay, have some of this." Listen, Pusha T is one of my favorites.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's the thing. We all love Pusha.
King Push.
Pusha T is one of my favorites. If I want to change my mood, I put on a Pusha album and I know that I'm gonna be in a different mood halfway through that album. 2 tracks into that album. Yeah.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. So when my man come with this track, I said, what did I say in the group?
Fucking hell.
I said,
Sorry, sis. But that's what he said.
fucking hell. Yeah. And then that was after I listened to the track once. I thought, you know what? I've got to listen to this track some more.
It demanded you listen to it
I've listened to it
repeatedly.
so many times.
Bruv, I listened to this track, no word of a lie or exaggeration, back to back from Hackney to Streatham.
Bruv.
I swear to you, bruv.
I
Back to
listened
back
so
from
many
Hackney to
times.
Streatham.
So many times. And the beat is so nice as well.
Bruv, he said,
But do you go back to the Pusha track for reference?
No.
It's the one.
that's
Just
the thing.
listen
I
to
haven't gone back to the Pusha. This is what disturbs me. He said, yeah, that your brother said it was your cousin, then him, then you. So you don't rap about what you did. You rap about what you knew. Fucking hell, bro.
No, but then he aimed to say that's not a problem because most other rappers
But
do
dude,
that too. And I said, my gosh, King Push, don't allow this to happen.
He said you're only top 5 on your own label.
And everyone kept on pointing to the point that the bunch is on that label or was on that label, so they're saying you're below the bunch. That's what people were saying.
no, it's wrong. I love Pusha, but this one diss track has potential to. It cancelled the album.
Nah,
Is Pusha gonna push back?
he has to. He has to. Because
He
can't-
has to.
And he better not do what Meek did and leave it for way too long and come with rubbish. Because if you come back, you have to come back.
I'm telling
with
you.
the ultimate fire. And King Push can do it. There's anybody can do it.
Yes,
King Push can
it's
do
within
it.
his ability to do it.
But Drake is so big. It's a machine, innit?
Yeah.
I'm nervous
Even-
though. I'm anxious and I'm nervous. Bro.
you know what? Yeah, because
if Push comes out and he flops, bruv.
That's the end of Push.
That's credibility gone.
if Push comes out with the type of diss that he did the last time, the one that Wahana's talking about where there was all the druggies in the video,
Exodus.
3:16 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He will lose.
Because that is not,
People are not ready for that track.
yeah, that one is very cerebral, it's very calm, it's very, I think now
It's a threat. That song was actually a threat.
It was a thinly veiled threat. Yes, it was a lovely beef song. It was a lovely beef song.
Oh, yeah.
but it wasn't one that made you do a meme where you're fainting. You get
Has
me?
to. Okay, is this for
You
me?
need, you need to do a diss track for the meme generation.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing the memes for Exodus 3:16.
This.
Why not?
No.
Because it's the type of thing you sit there and you talk to your man like, did you hear that?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
really,
yeah.
and you
It's a
don't say,
conversation.
you don't, like you say it like calmly. Did you hear that? You'd be like, damn, that's
There's-
deep.
Let me tell you something now.
You're
yeah?
not getting all excited like you did with Drake's man.
Let me tell you something now, yeah? This situation is very much like the Jay-Z and Nas situation, right? The reason why I say that is because Jay-Z at the time was the biggest artist. And okay, it's kind of reversed because Jay-Z kind of went at Nas first, even though they said Nas might have gone at him before, but let's say that Jay-Z went at Nas first. In this situation, obviously Pusha pushed Drake into it, but Drake hit him.
No pun.
Yeah, exactly. Drake hit him with the ether. I mean, so with the takeover. Yeah, for me that was a takeover type lyric beef that he dealt with him.
Which one is Takeover? Exodus
No. What he just
Duppy.
Duppy is
Drake's song is called Duppy, by the way.
Yeah, Drake's song Duppy is takeover. Yeah,
I think I see where you're going with
and
this.
the only way, because he's an underdog and Drake is so big, the same way that Nas at the time was seen as not an icon as he was seen as going down. He wasn't the best at the time. People look at him as
Okay,
like,
in
you're not on point.
decline, yeah?
Yeah, right. Pusha has to be the most disrespectful that you can ever be. It has to be. When I mean absolutely disrespectful, like, you know, when it, again, sorry sis, at the beginning, the reason why, for me, Ether's rubbish, by the way. I'm not thinking Ether's good at all. But the thing that everybody goes across, if you speak to people, why Ether's better than Takeover, the first thing people will say is, look how he started the song. Fuck Jay-Z. Stuff like that was so disrespectful for somebody like Nas. Nas don't do that type of stuff.
Yeah.
With your big lips.
Yeah, with your big Nas dumbed himself down so much that it made people like Nas can't. Nas had to come out of himself to make this song.
So Pusha has to go to that level. To come
Pusha
back
has
there.
to come.
Yeah,
out.
because throughout
he
his
can't talk about
whole-
cocaine.
Throughout his whole career, that's very important as well. Throughout his whole career, Pusha has always rapped at this level.
Yeah.
He's above most people. He doesn't. He always looks down on other rappers. He looks down on you, and I agree with what Wahala just said. Nas couldn't look down on that level because only certain people would have appreciated the insult that Nas would have done if he stayed on the level that that Jay-Z was on.
Exactly.
Because I think many, and it sounds very condescending, but I'm gonna say it, many intellectual hip hop fans believe Takeover was better than Ether. But the majority, the masses, believe Ether was better because it dealt with the lowest common denominator, and everybody could appreciate Ether.
Meme culture.
Not everybody could appreciate Takeover. So, like I just said, with Exodus 3:16, proper hip hop fans will sit there and we'll actually discuss it. We'll break it down. We'll decipher it, and it will go into our souls. But when it comes to this one that Drake just did, everybody's just gonna there's so many like little lines you could take from it.
He said on the track. This is what I'm saying because I'm that's what I'm saying is like take because the song is bad. That song is. He said that you look up to a guy that is. Oh, you're working under a guy that is younger than you. Even that's so basic, so simple, but it's reality. And when and he keeps talking about how he's 40, I'm 40. Pusha was talking about how he's 40 in his new album. I'm talking about how old he is now. He's like, older, I'm 40. You're 40, bruv. But the guy underneath you is your boss, and you're younger and he's younger than you.
And I'm nearly I'm 2/3 your age, and I'm doing more than you.
He's just a annihilate.
So
Push.
I kind of agree with what Wahala's saying. One, he can't come back with cocaine rap because Drake doesn't claim that lifestyle.
Exactly.
Yeah? I'm not claiming to be, the biggest thing, the Eminem in 8 Mile, where he puts himself down so you find it hard to insult you. So now what it comes down to is, okay, the man did help me with the writing. So he admitted it at the beginning of the song. Just because somebody helped me with this thingy, is this why you're coming at me? Look at your boss. I helped him. Shut your mouth. That's what he started off with. Yeah. So he kind of deaded that conversation. So if you're coming back with me that I didn't write everything, you're like, okay, I've said that now. Okay, and what? You can't talk about hip hop, all this crack and all that stuff. I don't care about all that stuff. You can't talk about beef. I've never claimed to be a hard man. If you want to come and talk about lashing me on the street, then so be it. Because I've never said that I'm the baddest man. Everybody knows I'm the nice guy, Drake. So you can claim to attack me. What is going to come out is, oh, you're attacking little boy Drake. How are you going at the nice guy? What is it you can come back with Drake at? You don't make as much money than me. The girls don't like you as much as me. You don't have as many hits as me. I've been in the game longer and I've made more and I've done more. On every aspect, I'm bigger than you apart from this lyrical aspect. That's the only thing you can come at me at.
He hasn't been in the game longer.
Yeah, but that's the point. Because I've been in the game shorter and I have more. You can't say anything on that level.
Yeah.
The nerve.
I think the biggest problem,
the audacity.
The biggest problem that I see with this whole thing is that, like you said, Pusha does cocaine rap and he's been doing cocaine rap for the last 20 years. 20 years plus of doing Johnson & Johnson, yeah? So we know that that's the brand that he comes with. He hasn't really done anything else in the sense of like diversity. So yeah, he might have done 1 or 2 girl tracks, but most of it, we know that he's cocaine rap. If a man causes the masses to question the credibility of the thing that this man has been standing on for the last 20 years.
It's true, you know.
He could just,
you know what?
He could just be ended.
I've
What's
just
that?
realized.
Say it again?
Yes. This is why he shot me on the phone. Listen, yes, this is why people call Drake like the scientist when he's rapping. Because I've just now realized it. You just pointed it out. This is what I stand on. I stand on 2 things: lyrics and my pedigree as a drug dealer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what has Drake done before? Because he's done it before. This is not the first time. He went at him, not as I'm a better rapper than you. He didn't even mention I'm a better rapper than you. He didn't mention money or all that stuff before. What did he mention before? You are claiming to do stuff you didn't do. I'm coming at your brand. You're not really the drug dealer you say you are. You're not Escobar. You know, you're not Sosa. You were a little time drug dealer that sold some stuff to get your trainers and you know whatever. But that's it. Stop going on like you're a big man.
And this is the problem that I have with this diss track.
Not even mediocre.
Because it could finish him.
He finished 2 people in. This is why I said it's Takeover, by the way, because he finished 2 people in 1 song. one person got stray bullet because Kanye West didn't even got stray bullet as well because he said stuff like, "I could never have a Virgil in my circle, right? Hold back because then I don't want him to be better than me." He's talking about Kanye saying that Pusha's better than you. And by the way, Kanye's version.
No. Virgil is oh, you don't know about this. So Virgil's is a designer, yeah. And he was
underneath Kanye West.
Yeah, and then he's now gone to go and be at Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, but he's still talking about Pusha.
No,
in a way,
he's talking about Virgil.
Oh, okay. I thought he was using an analogy.
Virgil was with Kanye, and Kanye wasn't letting him elevate because
but that's taking a shot.
But the bullet's still hitting for Kanye as well.
Yeah, the shot is directly at Kanye. But Virgil, I'm saying Virgil is actual person.
Can we just acknowledge the verse on when Kanye put on that album is trash, by the way?
Oh yeah, of course.
There's no reason for that Kanye verse at all. Should just remove it completely.
With me.
It's just rubbish. But oh my God, I just don't know what to say.
It's a big problem for me, man. Like I said, I played the track. I played the track from Hackney to Streatham, and when I finished playing the track, I was like, when I got there to Streatham,
played it again.
I was like, nah, this is just too much.
The streets want it, and they want it now. And Pusha, you need to bring it to the streets now. This is like, I told him, you have to put that on the stove, and you need to start twisting it.
You need to
like,
cook it up now.
And I mean that proper high grade.
Sell it.
I mean that
Quick
proper
time on the streets.
I mean, I don't want to snort it. I do not want to smoke it. I want to inject this track right to the vein.
It's true. And the problem is, it's got to be a full round. The instrumental needs to be hard. The bars need to be hard. Like, this is the levels that are going up here now. Is before this, my favorite diss track of all time, as petty as stupid as it was No Vaseline by Ice Cube. That was my favorite.
No Vaseline is serious
because he just took it straight to fucking
he went to the streets.
Ill gutter business. Yeah,
he went to the street.
Are you saying this song could match your favorite diss song of all time?
It's getting there. It's close. The track is hard. The track is hard.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that.
It's hard,
but it's better than back to back. For me,
nah.
See, it's better than back to back.
Because up to now, I don't think in 2-3 years' time I'm going to be listening.
I haven't listened back to back for ages. The thing about back to back,
I'll listen to back to back.
Back to back, was when Drake showed the science, as you said, where he was talking about with Meek. You know, you're a bad man, you're a this, you're a that. He took when after that Meek was finished is when he used the lyric, "You got bodied by a singing N-word." After that, I said Meek is finished because everybody calls Drake the nice guy. Drake, he's the singer, blah blah blah. You can't lose to the singer, and he lost
to the singer.
And then when he sent the bottles as well, because obviously this is his thing now. He's sending the things. That's his new thing. When you follow up the lyrics with the things. When he sent the bottles to Charlamagne, he just ended that as well. But I think this it's so apt. Yeah, it's so apt. Yeah, the fact that the song he's got a song and they're saying, "What would Meek do?" Because you don't want to see what Meek did. You want to come back right now. And I mean, right this very
Meek
now.
took a long time to come back, innit?
Meek took like a whole week and a half and then came back with the most rubbishest diss track I've ever heard in my life.
I can't even remember Meek.
It had like Undertaker beat. It was so terrible.
Yeah, I think I listened to that.
That's what I'm saying to you. Pusha needs to have beat selection. Well, he's got Kanye on his side, so hopefully there's at least one throwaway beat that Kanye's got that he could just go on.
Hold on, did you like the beats on this album, by the way?
The beats, production on this album.
So you're very Kanye produced a whole album.
Yeah, I know. So he's back. He's back with fire.
Okay. All right, continue.
His album's gonna be. I told you his album's gonna be mad anyway. I know that from.
You think Kanye's album's gonna be mad
from all this crazy stuff he's doing?
His lyrics is gonna be poor. So I'm not gonna.
Not lyrics. I'm talking production wise.
Production wise, it'll be heavy.
My twisted dark fantasy kind of that kind of level of production.
On that level,
Santeria. Trust me.
Yeah, I don't trust you. He's not gonna be at that level.
All I'm saying now
is
that big up man like Foles. Foles said that Pusha has to go and get Malice and tell him to put down the Holy Communion and come back. Because oh man, I don't know what you can do. Because right about now, people okay, when he went at Meek, I think people were like, yeah, Meek, he's known to be in a Philly rapper, he's meant to be alright.
Meek was not on Drake's level.
But yeah, nobody's seen
to
that.
me, I wouldn't put him
yeah,
in
but
the
a
same
lot
bracket.
of people like Meek in his street
like
rapper,
him,
blah blah blah. But Push
is somebody that
Push should never lose to Drake.
Push and Drake are both upper tier rappers.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned.
But he should never.
They're in the same bracket.
In most people's heads, Pusha T should never lose to Drake.
How did it get here? How did Pusha allow it to get here?
He poked, and he didn't expect the reply. Maybe he did. Maybe he thought that this was
because
happening.
I went back and I listened to Darkest Before the Dawn, Pusha album, and then I realized that whole album, most of that album was diss tracks.
He just flames everyone.
Most of the album was diss tracks. I heard him talking about people being signed to a label that's signed to something else. He needs to be careful because he's signed to Good Music, which is Kanye's thing, and Good Music is signed to Universal.
Yeah, but that's how most labels are. He's a vice president, though. That's why he feels he can be above. And plus, he says it quite openly. I don't need to rap.
Yeah, bro.
I don't need to rap. I got that money.
The brand is in jeopardy.
Yeah, he has to come.
I'm second drug dealer only to Eazy-E.
That's what he said.
Can you imagine that? He's like he's proud of that.
No.
That is his calling card.
Do you know what makes it so bad, this situation? Before that song came out, yeah?
Back to smiling, man. He loves the beef.
Yeah. Before that song came out, yeah, everyone was saying that this Daytona album is fantastic. It's a masterpiece. It's this, it's that. Oh my God. It's the most rawest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Now it's left a question mark.
And then now
One diss track.
All I'm saying is Duppy.
2 minutes.
Pusha needs to come back. It's like
38 seconds.
Yeah, he just released an album and people are saying you need to release new music now.
2 minutes and 38 seconds it took.
And that last 20 odd seconds is just instrumental.
The instrumental's even fucked up at the end. Did you hear how it restarted and done all kinds of
Yeah.
shit?
That's how peak it is. It's like, don't fix it. Just send it out there. Send it out there.
Trust me. Listen,
I made a mistake. Don't fix it. Drake, everything
Simple.
you do is perfection. Don't fix it.
Listen.
Send it out.
I'm saying to you,
the
look,
nerve.
what he's done here is this is in dancehall, this is what happens in dancehall. Yeah? When man like Vibes Cartel is in beef with somebody, this is how rapid the fire comes. Yeah? You dropped a track this morning. Okay. By this afternoon, man will drop 3 tracks. Yeah? And then you go and drop another 2 tracks. He's got something waiting for you in the clip. You understand what I'm saying to you? So it's like Drake has gone to dancehall levels with the beef now.
You know what? I just love that.
And
Drake,
Pusha's from dancehall, so we should have some fire for him.
I love the way that he just drops in them little things in there. He said, "Who gassed you to beef with me?"
Yeah, that was the English part.
I said, He took it from Skepta.
Yeah, who gassed you to beef with me?
I'm telling you, I'm involved in this.
I'm
thing.
telling you.
I'm telling you, the track is hard, man. It's a problem.
All right, okay. We have to finish. We are running out of time. Well, we've run out of time. So let us do our church notes, our goodbyes, our
He
social
said,
medias.
"Look, holler at me when you're multi-million." He's an abuser.
He said you have no malice. You're an approachable guy.
Oh, that was the one.
God damn it!
That was the one. That was the one.
You know why that lyric is wicked? Because he's giving his
Double
brother props.
entendre.
Yeah, he's giving his brother props at the same time as pulling him down.
Oh, for those that
you
don't know,
don't even look
Pusha's
intimidating.
brother and the other member of the Clips group is called Malice. And when he stopped doing the cocaine rap, he quit rap and went into the field, the church field. I don't know if you guys know what we're talking about. He quit rap. He said he's renouncing all his drug dealing ways. He believes he's gone down the wrong path, and he went and found God, basically. So now he does Christian rap under the name No Malice. So when man said,
So
Is he still doing bars?
It wasn't even a triple. It wasn't
I
even
don't know
double
if he continued,
entendre.
but
It was triple entendre.
he's
Yeah.
now a new rapper called No Malice. He's not Malice anymore. He's No Malice. So when he says you have no malice,
You know
he's
what?
like he's
No, but it's triple entendre. It's like you have no malice. That means that you haven't got malice with you.
Yes.
You have no malice, as in you don't have that in your heart.
Yes.
And you are an approachable rapper, which means that Malice, when he was there, wasn't an
No,
approachable rapper.
no, because
Malice
it's
was the
triple.
bad man.
But I
You're
think
not the bad man.
your first two were basically the same thing.
Okay.
But I do agree with you. It's triple.
Yeah.
The third one is when you do Clips, maybe you could have come at me, but Malice is not with you anymore.
Yeah.
You have no malice.
Yeah.
You're
So I can by yourself. Who are you? Because Pusha always says, he's always said, my brother is a better rapper than me. He's always said it.
Yeah.
I don't
but you got no
I don't
backing.
agree with it. I don't agree with it at
Yeah.
all. But he always says, my brother, because the Malice is the older one. He said he schooled me on how to rap. He's always been better than me.
Nah.
So now he's saying, yeah, he is. And he's not by your side. So I will
Can you imagine
finish
if
you.
Malice comes back and just does a prayer for him? Just
Oh,
praise.
man.
So when you hear about triple entendres, like triple entendres don't exist. Simple Simon just explained to you what a triple entendre
Clay's
is.
been saying that from day one. Anyways, salute Hove.
Every time you must find a way to put in your Jay-Z.
I'm gonna say this in both songs. They both reference Jay-Z lyrics to the other person. Just wanted to know that. Yeah.
Go on in.
I can't remember what the one was in Infrared.
Another on infrared. Yeah, another one, but I can't remember it either.
Yeah, but they both anyway. They both did.
Okay, fine. Okay,
Salute
cool.
Hove.
All right. So church notes and goodbyes. Let's start off with Simple Simon.
Me, I gonna mess up a party tonight. You just watch. Tonight, I gonna be the first match. Yeah. At Simple Simon FB on
What
Twitter.
kind of Jamaican Tourette's is this that you just did there?
I don't know.
Bashment Tourette's.
Nah, it's not Bashment Tourette's.
You give him praise because Capleton's free.
Can you I know it's wrong. There's something wrong with me, and I'm glad to hell. But
What
can you
happened?
imagine Bashment Tourette's?
Bashment with Tourette's.
The Bashment Tourette's.
Tourette's.
Just randomly walking.
You're an idiot. At Super Simon FB on Twitter.
Oh, what?
I don't have no Instagrams. Holler at us. Well, we love the
On fire.
dilemmas. We love the dilemmas. Please bring more to the floor. All right, peace.
I'm glad to hell. Bashment Tourette's. I'm glad to hell.
All right, Big Walla.
At Big Wahala on Insta, at Big Wahala on Twitter. Please, any pastors, pray for me because I'm glad to hell. Bashment Tourette's is finishing me in my own head.
All right, and that actor.
What's good, people? DATACTOR on Twitter and on Instagram.
Wonderful. Mr. Wolf, you can catch him at AKA _ Mr. Wolf on Twitter and AKA Mr. Wolf on Instagram. So follow him. He wants to get his social media up. So please help him out.
Can you please cuss him about Liverpool as well? I think he needs.
Yes. Go to his social medias and say we're not sorry for your loss. I am Stavros Boss. You can catch me at Stavros Boss everywhere. Stavros Says this week, and Stavros Says is the section where I recommend something. It's a couple of Sky Arts program. One is called The Evolution of Hip Hop, which comes on, I don't know if it's 3 or 4 episodes, but it's on Fridays on Sky Arts. The first episode has already aired as you're listening to this. It was good. So the next one is Friday, 9 o'clock. You can also go online and download it if you are a Sky member, and I'm sure there are other avenues if you're not. And another one is on Sky Arts as well, is Generation Grime. It's a one-off documentary about grime and its evolution from where it started to where it is now. It was really good. I watched them back to back on Friday night with my missus, and the grime one really took me back to. I mean, I don't count myself as part of the grime generation, even though I'm like the same age as Wiley. So I could have been it, but I kind of because I was hip hop. I was looking at it from across the side, but watching that documentary was really enjoyable, and realizing that I did see it, even though I wasn't part of it. I did kind of see certain things that I was talking about, pirate and how it came from this and blah blah blah, and the linking to dancehall. I love it when these artists start understanding where these things come from, because I don't think you necessarily consciously understand that the grime things, them times where they were doing them clashes, how much it links to the clashes back in the dancehall.
Oh yeah.
And about how like some people, like, you had to get insulted, that was part of it. Some people took it to heart and it's like, that's not part of, and where did this come from that you could insult a man? On street you couldn't insult a man, but on the lyrics you could, because this is where all our parents came from, these countries where this is what they grew up on, and we used to listen to this, and we kind of turn it around and brought it into our own thing. And I like how they took it, they explained how it came from the street, then it went commercial, and then after a couple of incidents, the commercial kind of dropped them, and they used Skepta, That's Not Me. The video, the lyrics about how it came back now to the street, and now everybody's independent. And how they realize they don't need the big labels. It's a really good documentary anyway. So that's called Generation Grime. Sky Arts. You need to download it because it's already come on, but it's good.
Okay.
So you can catch us collectively at ESN Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Once again, if you need or want your relationship or situational subjects answered, we're here for you. The uncles will discuss things and then tell you that you're being cheated on, by all means. You can send in your questions to esnpodcast at gmail. He said yes. You can send in your questions or whatnot to esnpodcast at gmail.com. You can find us on SoundCloud, on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher, on Google Play Music. We are everywhere that you listen to podcasts. Big up to I've forgotten the name, so I'm not even going to say it. Sorry, Colour Out the Box Podcast, because they're trying to assist me getting onto Spotify. So I'm still waiting on you, but big yourself up, and thank you for helping us out. Yeah. Find us on Facebook, search for Eloquently Say Nothing. Use the hashtag ESNPod. Tell us what you think about the situation. The person that wrote in would like to understand the views of all our listeners on this situation, on this topic now. Do you think the man is being cheated on by the Nigerian? Do you think that this Igbo Nigerian whore has been cheating on the Jamaican bastard? Who knows? Do you think that she should leave? Do you think honesty is the best policy? Tune in next week to find out. Yes, and you don't have to tune in. You need to go to social media, put in the hashtag ESNPod, and find out what everyone is saying. Yeah, don't do the Igbo whore bit. Yeah, we don't know that she's Igbo. I said if she's Igbo, okay. Sorry. Don't do that. Yeah. Sorry.
This could be an online soap. This could be an online soap opera.
This could be an online what?
Soap opera.
Online soap opera about your life.
I just think that I don't want to put no cheating on the woman's brain. So please don't think that the man is cheating.
Yeah, well, yeah. I didn't say that.
I just think that you need to tell him that he needs to pay his way. In the house.
Okay.
But maybe he's giving her the thing and the thing's outweighing the money.
That's what's going on right there.
We're so raw taking things to such a basic level.
Hold on. Not we. You.
No, you're just as bad as I am.
I didn't say nothing.
But you shook your head in agreement though when I said it.
I just want to get home safely.
Shout out a number one listener from back in the day, from when we first done podcasts. Shout out Elaine. Saw her yesterday.
Yeah, big her up.
Yeah, big up Elaine.
Yeah. Oh, and please rate and review us. Elaine is one of the people that rated and reviewed us on Apple Podcasts. So if you can do that for us, please, that does help us rise up the challenges. The police are coming for us now, so we're going. Peace.
And remember, people, if you ain't saying nothing, say it well.
Slag for life. Unless you're the the Jamaican boyfriend.
Wow.
Then stop the slagging and
just for Christmas.
start cooking some food. That was good. 2 minutes. 2 hours, 22 minutes. I don't know how. Usually I like recording a long time before.
Yeah,
But because we were talking so much stuff, I couldn't record.
My God!
Pusha T. I need him to come back. If Pusha T don't come back. Pusha, I can't lose Pusha. There's no dirt on him about him